This is Badass Billy Gunn, 11-time WWE Tag Team Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Hardcore Champion, and you're listening to ICOPOD. You gotta hear this. And if you're not listening to this, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
And we're back with episode 79 of ICOPOD. I'm Bob Colling Jr.
Hey, Randy, how much does this guy weigh?
Oh, hi, Art. How you doing? Who's the guy in the suit? Of course, it's Austin Skinner. What's going on, man?
What is going on? I'm feeling very regal tonight. I was unfortunately not afforded a nap here because Bob has forced me to get on and talk about King of the Ring 1994. So if I'm a little bit ornery tonight, you know what? I'm blaming it on Bob Colling Jr. and maybe not necessarily the show for once. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, that is just a great compliment. I appreciate it. That I forced you to come on to ICOPOD to talk about it, even though we've known about it for weeks that we have to get to this point.
You make that up, man.
Yeah, sure. That's okay. Well, here we go. So we were talking off the air about a few things here, and don't worry, folks. We're going to have a special Vince Russo update. We have yet to do it on a pay-per-view, I believe, but we'll do it this time around because I'm pretty sure when this is or the next time we have a recording, since we're off for 3 weeks, his painting will be kind of gone. So we'll do a special one here. But before we get into that, as you guys know, we obviously watch Raw's pay-per-views. We take notes on them and stuff like that. Kind of maybe pay-per-views for sure are time-consuming, I guess you could say. Yeah. And with boy Bob here kind of having a new lady friend.
Whoa, was this official?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's news to me, folks. We're live, pal.
We're live, pal. I guess you would say it's official.
Wow.
So yeah, it would be kind of difficult for me to justify consuming my whole life to be nothing but professional wrestling. Kind of a difficult venture.
Well,
Yeah, but so Austin and I were talking, and the idea, I mean, eventually at some point we're going to have to do it anyway, especially in reference to Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
But we may, and we're asking you, the listeners, if you would maybe hate us forever if we were to do this, or if you would be on par, or in support of it, instead of doing watching it, taking notes, and kind of recapping in that way. If we are to switch to more of a live watch oriented thing. Now, if you go to our bonus episodes where we kind of watch WCW and variety of Coliseum videos, it's usually just Austin and I talking bullshitting. I think though, if we were to do it to go along with the regular series, there wouldn't be as much bullshitting, more as a commentary as to what's going on.
Yeah, and you know what? As you were kind of just breaking it down there, I was thinking about it because that's what I was worried about, right? So we take it pretty seriously right now as we do the notes. We break everything down in relation to the stories going on. Bob's always the play-by-play guy. So I think, after hearing you back, bonus episodes are going to be different regardless, just because it is out of context. We're clicking something on, 2 friends watching a show, just out of order, whatever we end up picking. I think with the pay-per-views in relation to our regular ICOPOD series, we're going to be pretty invested. So I don't think we're going to be really wanting to BS too much. So I do think that it is definitely something to consider. What should we do about this, Bob?
Personally, I like the idea of a live watch because, we record every Thursday or, maybe even sometimes Sundays. But, the older that we get and the more responsibilities we get, maybe new relationships, as I have previously noted, dedicating it to maybe one evening to watch 2 episodes, which are like 45 minutes, is considerably easier compared to having to take the notes, write them out, and then talk about them again in the form that we're doing it.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm far from being burnt out about it or anything, but I think that it's just easy. It would be easier for us.
Well, it's just kind of a peek behind the curtain a little bit. So typically my schedule, I guess you could say, is so we record 2 back-to-back Raws every Thursday.
Correct.
Odds are I'm taking Monday off and I'm crunching in probably a good hour both Tuesday and Wednesday, and then hitting the record button on Thursday for at least a solid 3 hours. So it is a little bit of a grind, but I think for Monday Night Raws, that's to be expected. Now, when it comes to the pay-per-views, I do think that is something where we have a little bit more room to stretch our legs as far as maybe jumping over to the live format, just because when it comes to notes, and this is something Bob and I also talked about off camera or off mic, I guess you could say, is when it comes to taking notes on the pay-per-views, there's not as much to dissect. It's a lot of action. Promos are kept pretty short. Any storyline unfolding is kept pretty short. Nothing that we couldn't talk about without hearing the audio per se. So I do think it's a little bit more of a viable option. I would like to consider keeping the note style of taking for Raws as long as we can, just because I do feel like that is important. But as far as the pay-per-views, I do think that's something we can kind of consider transitioning into, as long as that's what the listeners are okay with as well.
Yeah, I can see maybe you're right for just maybe pay-per-views, because Raws aren't like the worst. Like I said, they're like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a quick watch. And realistically, I should just be dedicating to one night taking notes, one night recording. But I'm a procrastinator, and I'm the same.
Well, I'm the same way. Like I have Sundays off from work, and I don't usually watch the shows. I'll usually watch them Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or even sometimes 6 hours before we go on.
Well, I do not have that luxury, so
yeah. Sometimes I just I wait for as long as I possibly can.
Sure.
At the bare minimum, folks. The next pay-per-view being SummerSlam 94. At the bare minimum, we're probably going to be switching, I would have to think, to a live watch for the pay-per-views moving forward. TV probably will be the same way that we're doing it now up until September of 95 when we get into the Monday Night Wars, because realistically that recordings will turn into having to watch Raw and a Nitro to kind of. I don't even know how we're going to do that either, because we're going to want to keep them all in the same week. So I don't know. Exactly.
And so, again, kind of thinking out loud, when it comes to watching the pay-per-views live together, there's so many times where as I'm taking notes during pay-per-views, I'm like, oh my God, and I can't believe that. And like I'm reacting and it's not on air. So we'll be able to capture those moments, because, again, a lot of this stuff, guys, is my first merry-go-round ride. Not the case with 1994 King of the Ring. I have seen this a couple of times. But a lot of the time when I'm reacting, I'm not including that in the notes, and that might be something that we're missing out on a little bit, the genuine reactions to the storylines unfolding and blow-offs and that sort of surprises. So I think it would be a bonus for listening as well as keeping our sanity here on ICOPOD.
And when we get to the Monday Night Wars, the idea of live watches is fun too, because you can have like Nitro parties. You guys at home watching it kind of, I guess, with us. Right. Not to like toot our own horns. It's kind of weird to be like, hey, I'm watching with Bob and Austin, but it can maybe add a different twist to it. Who knows?
For sure.
But I think either tonight or tomorrow, or if I procrastinate about it, 2.5 weeks from now, I will put up a post on our ICOPOD page on Facebook. I think you can still do polls. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely put it on there. Actually, it'll probably be on there before you even listen to this, folks. So I don't know why I'm even saying anything, but you'll have seen it on our Facebook page, the posts and all that stuff. And if you haven't, bounce on over there, because we won't record until this is released anyway. We'll be recording the Thursday after this is out. So it'll all kind of tie in together. But so we got that out of the way. Hopefully you guys can communicate to us what you would ideally want. But let's get into one of the most popular segments on ICOPOD that we pretty much started a few episodes ago. It's the Vince Russo update.
Yes, the overnight sensation.
Pretty much. A lot of people arguably probably appreciate this more than what we actually do every single week. Of course, anybody that knows Vince Russo, former writer, delusional. He's pretty much grasping at anything to remain relevant in professional wrestling today.
2019 has not been kind to Vince Russo.
No, not in the slightest. He has ventured away from, I guess, kind of writing anything about professional wrestling. Has decided, I'm an artist now. And through the weeks, we've probably done at least 4 or 5 of these, if not more. He'll kind of publish a new painting. I should say painting, quotations. And he's managing to sell them. This week, he's got a new one. It's got 9 days on eBay here before it gets sold. And I'm going to tell you right now. Actually, I'm not going to sell you anything. Austin, I'm going to send it to you here on Google Hangouts. And I just want to point out, too, Google Hangouts is vanishing as of August 1st, which is the way that we use this. So over the next several weeks, we're going to be trying to figure out what to do. It's likely going to be, it's likely going to be me flying to Orlando once a week to record.
That's kind of the only logical answer at this point.
Yeah. You know, it's just I got some vacation time, and
there you go.
We'll go with it from there. But I'm about to send it to you right now, Austin, and I just want your genuine reaction. Are you ready?
You're trying to piss me off before we get to this.
I think you are going to get pissed off by this.
Yeah, fucking send it, buddy.
All right. I just sent it to you in the chat.
Oh, boy. It's got a long title. I can tell you that shit. Now live. You motherfucker. This isn't real. Come on. This is not real.
It is very much real.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. What I am looking at here is a Mexican Jesus. Very dark-skinned. The lips are thinner than fucking, I don't even know what, paper thin. So is the mustache. The mustache is very thin and very squiggly. Okay, the gentleman in this depiction has long hair, kind of like Jesus. Same beard, I would say, as well. Lime green looks like the lining of a jockstrap on his forehead. And then what appears to be like the I love you hand sign, adjusting his glasses. I'm not sure how many fingers and if they're atomically correct on that hand.
There's definitely 5. I mean, there's one that's only
where the thumb is. Which one's the thumb? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that would be his left hand, right? I guess.
I don't know what that is.
So if you go, so the one closest to us is the pinky. I don't know where his thumb would be.
So basically, it looks like a hand that got chewed up and spit out, and that's kind of where it landed.
Yeah, that doesn't look great.
The yellow background is very striking, and the O in all capitals and on the sides. Kind of.
So here's my immediate question for you. What do you think it is?
Well, if he hadn't have written "oh yeah" on it, I would have no fucking idea. I'd guess maybe like Joey Janela Jesus, baby.
Oh wow, okay.
But this is obviously who couldn't recognize that this is indeed Randy Savage.
Okay.
I was
kind of getting nervous that you were like, I don't know, it's Jesus. I was like, okay.
It's an exact depiction. Bob, are you looking at this with me?
Yeah, I just now went to his
right. Do me a favor, take a look at the nose. And please explain to me what in the absolute fuck that is. It looks like a hockey stick hitting a puck.
It looks like the top half of a skull.
Oh yeah, that's a good comparison.
But like even on the skull, like the nose was removed on the skull, so it's like just the eyes and the forehead.
It looked like Vince was going for like some shading, maybe to get some contours of the nose.
I was gonna say it's contouring, yeah.
And was like, nah, bro, that ain't realistic looking, bro. So we're gonna just leave that little line there, bro. They're gonna buy this shit for $600, and I'm rich, bro. It doesn't matter. What's the hand doing? I don't know, bro.
I don't know, bro. I hate wrestling, bro. But here, let me go paint Randy Macho Man, bro, Savage, bro. Yeah, bro. bro, come on, bro.
How is Vince Russo banging out 6 paintings a week?
I don't know. Are you ready for this description I'm about to read to you?
Oh, please, yes, lay it on me.
So here's the entire thing on eBay. It says, "Oh yeah, Vince Russo, WWE, WCW, TNA, original painting, a 16 by 20 original artwork by former WWE, WCW, TNA head writer, producer, talent Vince Russo." Now this is the part that I am laughing at hysterically. This painting is sure, all caps, to be a collectible, as it is the first in Vince's Legends series. Through this piece of art, Vince is paying homage to one of his all-time favorites, the Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. This is a collectible.
Of what? Dust?
Yeah.
Christ.
Okay.
What is
Batman,
bullshit?
his Batman, okay, and Robin.
Oh yeah.
That has gone for it's at only $125.
That's still $124 too much.
Yeah, for sure. But this is a collectible for sure. People are going to be searching for this.
They're lining up for this shit
for the next 50 years.
Fuck a Funko Pop.
I should buy this and then go to the pawn shop and then be like, listen, in 20 years, and be like, listen, if you don't give me at least $40,000, you don't even know art.
Okay. I'll tell you what. You want to know? So I'm going to give away the secret to a 4.9 for AEW's first episode live on TNT. You ready?
I'm ready.
It's really simple, and it's not going to cost them too much to pull off. What they need to do is they need to buy like two Russo originals. Buy them. Put them over big time. Put them over. Like put them over on Being the Elite. Put them over. Lead it up. October 2nd comes, right? The two paintings are going to have a match. They're going to wrestle. You put them in there, but they're not wrestling each other. They're tagging. It's a handicap match.
Oh, boy.
And wouldn't you know who won the pony? Out from the one tunnel comes James E. Cornette.
Oh, no.
And good old Jimmy Cornette's going to come down to that ring. And he's going to have a handicap match with these two paintings. And he's going to beat the absolute shit out of them. Destroy them. And pin them both and get a pinfall victory over two Vince Russo paintings on live broadcast television. 4.9 rating.
I love it.
Build it up, baby. This is Goldberg Hogan in the Georgia Dome.
It's going to be the most watched match in wrestling history on cable television.
You put that shit on your first show, you goddamn right I'm watching.
I'd watch that. Are you kidding me?
Fucking A. Cornette would never do it. But you do that, you pull that shit off, oh, fuck, I'm a fan for life. Absolutely. That is that's one of the worst ones we've seen. That Macho Man is really rough.
Yeah. You want to know what's really funny about this? Let me make sure that what I'm about to say is completely accurate. So I had seen this, I think last night. Yeah. Hogan 98 Money.
Okay.
Sent me a text this morning at 8:50. And he took a screenshot of this exact painting and he goes, all caps, fucking buy this.
No.
And I was like, I can't justify it.
No.
And he's just like, dude, you have to. He's
It's
like, exactly
horrible.
why you need the first in his Legends series.
Who do we think the next guy's going to be?
Man, that's a really good question.
I'm saying Dusty Rhodes.
Really? You think Dusty? I would Hogan maybe? No, because I feel like maybe not because of their
He's
history.
trying to pander to the audience. He wants these people to buy this shit. I think you put Dusty Rhodes on there, people will buy it.
Well, yeah, I think people would buy Dusty. Flair maybe.
Oh, maybe Ric Flair, yeah.
But that would be funny just because like will he try to do his crooked teeth? Like how
Oh,
bad would that?
absolutely, yeah.
How bad would that look?
Otherwise, you're not going to know who the fuck it is.
Yeah, maybe like a sting. He might do a sting too. Stone Cold, Rock.
Stone Cold. It'll literally be a tan circle with eyes on it.
Yeah,
It'll say that's the bottom line in fucking black writing.
right.
Jesus Christ.
Smell what I'm cooking?
Somebody needs to go arrest him and take the paintbrushes away from him. I've
I mean,
literally
it's good the
done
guy
better-
has a hobby, but I mean, when you're kind of, I mean, he's well known and he has a following, and
You don't need to be
he's
making money
posted.
off of this shit.
No, yeah, you're right. Like it's, yeah, I get what you're saying. If you go onto his Twitter,
God help you if you do.
so let me just look at this real quick. He's got 59,000 followers. He has a verified account.
That ain't a pimple on a pig's ass. 59 followers.
59,000.
59, yeah, 59,000. That ain't nothing.
I think the first time he posted it, the first time he posted this was was yesterday, 23 hours ago. It has 1 retweet and 7 likes. There's 7 comments on it.
Wow.
Let me just read you.
Oh no.
Just read you these.
Oh,
There's one guy here goes Adam Bomb.
no.
There's another guy here going Drew McIntyre as the Macho Man. There was one by Glenn Gilberti. It looks like it might have been deleted though.
No,
Which is a Disco Inferno, and he had said that it was fucking awful. Like,
yeah.
it might be on a different post, but I can't find it. But it looks like he might have deleted it. Yeah, I mean, I was laughing pretty good.
And that's one of his good buddies. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like he's on his like podcast network or whatever. So
It's just real cringeworthy. Like, really, dude? Really? That you think
yeah,
that's
I mean,
good?
it's not very good.
You think that's good? I literally have better drawings of Macho Man in a spiral notebook in my closet.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that do.
Yeah. So, like, holy Christ. Time to hang up the fucking brush.
It definitely looks like he yeah, I think Gilberti there must have deleted it or something.
I had to take a sip
So
of
it's probably like, yo, bro, come on, bro.
Come on, dude. Take that down, dude. What are you
That hurt
doing?
my feelings, bro. Come on, bro. I wonder if Vince Russo still follows me. Oh, he doesn't.
Who knows?
Damn it. He must have heard ICOPOD.
Yeah, probably. He's probably a mark.
You want to know another random thing before we get into our coverage? I realized that Velvet Sky blocked me.
Yeah, because you're a pervert.
Well, yeah, all right, that's fine. But
You DM'd your dick to her like 13 times.
that was like years ago.
Like,
Before this whole revolution of where like guys need to be treating women with respect, which I'm
it's like
totally on board
12
with now.
minutes ago. It was like 12 minutes ago. You like rapid fire Shutterstocked the shit out of it.
Well, yeah, I was using Boomerang too.
And she was like, I don't really like poison tree frogs, so can you stop sending me this? Because that's what it reminds me of.
You know what? I bet you Bulla Ray's probably threatened by me too.
That's right. He can't even see his dick, so it don't matter.
That's right.
She could probably tell him that, hey, this is yours. And he'd be like, oh, all right.
Oh yeah.
That what it looks like? Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't have Twitter, so fuck them all.
I mean, that's not entirely true.
Does Austin Skinner have a Twitter? Absolutely fucking not. He does not.
It's not entirely true.
That's a fucking fact, buddy.
It's not entirely true.
You can take that
Oh,
shit.
hang on a minute. I'm getting a phone call from Vince Russo. I'm just kidding. By LaFleur. I'm going to take this on the air.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Ready? This is exactly how my conversations go with my best friend, LaFleur. Hey, babe, what's up? Hey, you're on my podcast right now.
Yeah, Bob's literally on the phone right now.
Yeah, and they just heard you say, hey, baby boy, so
That's
I am your baby boy. Yeah.
Bob Gowling, folks. In all his glory.
I do love you, baby.
Something tells me that's really not how the conversation's going. I think he's working us.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk later, baby.
There's a lot of babies getting thrown in.
I will never forget about you. I could never forget about our chemistry and our love for each other.
Yeah,
Love you
how's
too.
Bearded
I'll talk
Tough
to you later,
going, by
okay?
the way?
Okay, bye. You literally just said that was not the whole conversation. That's exactly how the conversation went.
Okay.
Everything I was saying was exactly what he said to me. I should have put it on speakerphone, but
I figured you were going to, but then you pansied out on me.
I could get sued because I can't technically.
Ah.
Can you? Is New York a recording? Well, I don't know.
Sue Schmoo.
Plus, there's a whole thing of like likeness and stuff.
Yeah, well, fuck it.
You could probably sue me.
It's all right. We'll get Vince Russo to swerve his ass.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I guess we should actually talk about the show now, since we have fucking 3 hours of that to get through.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we got a vacation coming up.
Fuck.
But before we get into King of the Ring, we got to talk about
Oh my god.
a huge match that took place on what is it? Countdown to Crowning?
Oh my god, he got the title right. Bob's on his game tonight, folks.
This is water.
Mark this shit down on your calendar.
Myself hydrated. The Countdown to Crowning. There was one match on the show.
And it reminded me of Crowning because when you're on like you're in New Jersey on the boardwalk, right? And you just ate a foot-long corn dog. And you probably had a little bit too much mustard with it. You tend to start crowning. So you just really got to rush to one of the shittiest restrooms you've probably ever seen.
Oh my God.
And just take care of business. And that's kind of how I was feeling about this match.
Well, it's funny in New Jersey, though. A lot of those restaurants will be like, you can't just use our bathrooms. You have to be a customer.
No. That's why you're on the boardwalk. They don't know.
Oh, all right.
Half the time it's porta potties, dude. So you just add to the mountain and hope it doesn't touch your bottom before you're done.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Right.
We mentioned it before. We didn't bother with Countdown to Crowning because really, aside from this one match, it's nothing but hype videos. There might be a couple of promos, but it's really just like Jeff Jarrett saying, "I'm great. I'm going to win the King of the Ring," and Mabel being like, "Whoop, there it is. Wait, where's Mo?" And then like stuff like that. So there's no real context or anything that we're missing out on.
Okay.
So, the one match that was covered on that show was a title match. The WWF World Tag Team Champions, the Head Shrinkers, defending against the Quebecers. Jacques shoves Samu, but is met with a few right hands. Samu with a falling headbutt as Jacques went to catapult Samu, but failed at doing that. Fatu tags into the match and works on Pierre with a headbutt. Pierre comes back with a quick roll up for a 2 count and is able to clothesline Fatu inside out. Fatu comes off the ropes with a running forearm smash to knock Pierre down. Jacques tags in and hammers away on Fatu. Jacques ducks a clothesline and drives Fatu down with a face buster, but that doesn't really affect Fatu, as you would know over the last almost 2 years. Fatu super kicks Jacques and power slams Pierre. We come back from a commercial. Samu is tripped by Johnny Polo, and Jacques keeps the upper hand with a rear chin lock. Jacques goes to jump onto Samu's back, but Samu rolls over, and Jacques lands on his knees. Fatu gets the tag, but the referee didn't see it, and Samu is double teamed briefly. Pierre sends Samu hard back first into the corner and gets a near fall. The Quebecers whiplash Samu, and then Jacques scoop slams Pierre onto his... Yeah, let me try that again. Jacques scoop slams Pierre onto Samu for a 2 count. Jacques scoop slams Samu and tags Pierre back in. Pierre heads to the top for the Tower of London, but Samu moves out of the way. Pierre tags in Jacques, and then Jacques cuts Samu off. Samu with a double drop kick after ducking a double clothesline at Sam. Fatu is tagged in, and the champs drive Pierre face first into the canvas. That allows Fatu to head to the top rope, and he connects with a splash to pick up the victory. After the match, the Head Shrinkers grab a Johnny Polo, and Afa is able to hit a Samoan drop. What did you think of this little encounter here?
All right, so to start from the top here, first of all, there's a major conspiracy going on within the WWF currently. Major.
Okay. Do share.
And it didn't hit me until I was watching this. So on commentary, we have Ted DiBiase and Stan Lane. Okay. You cannot sit there and tell me that Stan Lane's voice is not the love child of Vince McMahon's and Mr. Perfect's.
I could totally see that.
It's literally both voices put together, and then it's Stan Lane.
Yeah,
And,
I can see that.
And the fact that nobody's talking about this in 2019 is absolute bullshit. Like
Stan Lane might be the love
explanation.
child of them.
I want an explanation. Why does it sound like that?
Well, I don't have an explanation for you.
Are there aliens in Area 51? I don't care. Why does Stan Lane's voice sound like a mixture, an exact balance, 50-50, of Mr. Perfect and Vince McMahon? Chew on that one for a little while, folks.
That's a really good observation.
Yeah. So I was pissed to start off.
Just based off of that.
Yeah. But nobody's talking about it, and I want answers, and nobody's got answers. Okay. So this is leading me into the match. Okay. So here we are. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect from this one. I didn't expect it to go very long. I wanted Shrinkers to go over, though, for sure. I expected them to, due to the heels waiting for them at the pay-per-view. But they did really get to kind of shine here, which was good. And the clean finish, where did that come from? They needed that fucking 3 months ago. So I'll take it. Quick tags kept the champs fresh. Everybody felt like they weren't getting overexposed for once. So that was nice. Fatu specifically really got to shine a couple of times throughout the match. One little spot that was weird is like Jacques faked like a low blow to get the ref distracted, and he and Pierre could work over Samu. There was a couple different spots where it was like, okay, like I guess I'll buy that. But it's nothing that we're not used to with the Quebecers at this point. We got the finish again. They hit their like double team STO or whatever they fucking call it. And Fatu comes off the top, hits the Samoan splash, 1, 2, 3, clean win. Again, I was not expecting that. I did like, too, that Polo was right in after the bell rang and got pretty much manhandled by the champs. And Afa hitting his Samoan drop on him was pretty cool. Like, I liked that they actually used Afa for once. Yeah. It was a decent little match with a nice finish, I thought. I was expecting the match to be kind of like long and drawn out, especially if that was the only match that was going to be on this show. And it really wasn't. So I was cool with that. And again, the clean finish kind of had me over the moon. So it was much better than I expected. I didn't hate it. So I'll fucking take it. So we got the Head Shrinkers going into King of the Ring 1994, and they are taking on the challengers of Yokozuna and Crush. So that'll be interesting. Like I predicted last week, I am afraid that they're going to throw the belts on Yoko and Crush, because why the fuck not? I hope that isn't the case, but that's what I'm afraid of. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I kind of anticipated this going like 15 to 18 minutes.
Oh, easily.
It actually goes less than 7, if I looked it up correctly. It was pretty quick for a match.
Right.
I pretty much agree with what you said. It was, decent for what it was. This came across as if we're probably not going to see the Quebecers ever again. That's
how it felt. Yep.
With Afa doing what he did to Johnny Polo, seemed like we're just kind of writing them off.
Mm-hmm. That's how it felt.
And if that is the case, I mean, I enjoyed the Quebecers for the most part. I feel like they kind of, aside from the men on mission stuff, they had some good stuff with, the Harts and Steiners. I know we're not really on the same page for that, but maybe an underrated run in the tag division for the WWF for the time. I mean, they didn't really have many strong challengers for the most part.
I mean, that's the thing. They kind of got us through a rocky period, so you got to kind of give it to them for that. Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, but that leads us to the Head Shrinkers getting a very good win still right before a pay-per-view match. So I can't complain with anything they kind of went with here. Kind of builds them up fairly well.
Yeah, agreed. And really, the best part is the Quebecers still kind of have
some level of steam to it.
Value.
Yeah.
So for the Head Shrinkers to get a win over them just adds to their credibility, and we'll take it and move forward and kind of see what happens.
Yeah, it's not like the Usos beating the New Age Outlaws in 2016. Like, there's no real value attached to that.
Yikes.
Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry. Let's get right into like one of the most talked about in terms of anybody listening to ICOPOD. A lot of people, surprisingly, a lot of people listen to us, but a lot of people have been like, "Hey, we've been waiting for this one."
Is this a guy wrestler? Is this one of the wrestlers?
Who's the guy with the vest there?
He looks like a doctor.
Gorilla.
Is he from the hospital? Is he from the hospital?
Ooh, wow. Oh, yeah. All right. It is the 1994 King of the Ring pay-per-view. It took place on June 19th, 1994, which would have been Father's Day.
It's really quick, Bob. I'm going to derail us here. I just thought of a zinger that I want to share with everybody. I don't know which art is more shitty, Donovan or the stuff that Vince Russo ejaculates onto a canvas.
Vince Russo's for sure.
I don't know what's shittier. What art sucks more?
Vince Russo's.
Fucking A, that's a toss-up, man.
Because you know what? I can kind of defend Art Donovan. And
Fuck off.
We'll do it at the end, but I can kind of defend him.
Okay.
This show took place in Baltimore, Maryland. The attendance was 12,000, which is an increase from 6,500 from last year's King of the Ring, which took place in Dayton, Ohio. It was a smaller building anyway.
Sure.
The buy rate was a 0.85, which is down from a 1.1 in 93. Obviously, I mean, you had like Hogan and guys like that.
Right.
So maybe kind of to be expected. Not like a huge drop off.
No.
Kind of still a decent number. Let's get right into it here. Jeff Jarrett, Owen Hart, Bam Bam Bigelow, and IRS, also known as the Likely Losers for the 1994 King of the Ring, mess around with the giant bracket and try to claim they are going to win the King of the Ring. We get a King of the Ring opening video highlighting, I think, all the matches that we'll see on the event, which I don't even remember that's ever happened before, but they like covered everything.
It was like really fancy graphics and stuff. You can tell they put some money in and shelled some money out for this one.
I liked it. It got me kind of more amped for the show. I was
me
like,
too.
oh shit, this is all going down.
Yeah, me too.
Ricky Matlock from Blackfoot sings the national anthem. Couldn't tell you who he was. Didn't even remember that ever happening, but it definitely did.
Yeah, and it was real basic. We got like a little added pyro at the end. It didn't stand out. Like sometimes you get renditions. It's like, holy shit. This was like real basic. So
the guys on commentary are Gorilla Monsoon, Randy Savage, and oh boy, the living legend, Art Donovan. Donovan picks Razor Ramon to win the King of the Ring tournament. Randy Savage chimes in and he thinks that Diesel will in fact win the WWF World Championship tonight.
Which I was like, what the fuck, Randy?
Why would he say? I know. I was like, why is he supportive of Diesel? I don't understand that at all.
Where did that come from? Probably because Diesel whooped his ass at fucking Survivor Series. He's like, well, if he can beat me, he can beat Bret. Because I want to
be a challenger. They won't give me a title shot against Bret face first face. But oh yeah, if Diesel's a heel, maybe I can get in there for one last run. Oh yeah, Macho Man, dig it.
So I don't know where that came out of. It was very out of left field.
I was on my couch and I was just like, is that a heel turn by Randy Savage? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Really quick too here. This is one of the points, which, oh boy, we're going to have a lot of them. Art tried rambling and kind of like cutting in, but was cut short by Bam Bam's entrance music. Just from the top to kind of give you guys an idea of where I was at with the art stuff, because I was hypersensitive to it. I was going to pay attention to it as much as I possibly could. I definitely noticed throughout the show that it does seem, and maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but it does seem that some of Art's longer audio blurbs have been lowered in volume. So you can still hear that he's talking, but it almost sounds like the mic is like a mile away. So maybe I'm just imagining that. Maybe it's always been like that, but it definitely sounds like they've kind of toned down its audio a couple of times throughout the show.
And I don't know if that's even necessarily a network thing, because we are watching the Coliseum video version.
Right.
So they could have maybe have done that for that release.
Right.
So if you watch the original broadcast, maybe his commentary is intact in full. But
well, I was gonna say because I definitely remember like him being more annoying than he was. So I was kind of surprised, and this is kind of one of the spots right here towards the beginning where it was like, did they turn his fucking audio down? Because you couldn't really make out what he was saying.
yeah, when I was watching it, I want to say probably halfway through, I was like, I feel like I remember more from Art.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that I thought that several times throughout the show. So,
Well, that's why editing is your friend.
hey.
Let's get right into it. King of the Ring quarterfinal match to start off the show. It's Bam Bam Bigelow with Luna Vachon against Razor Ramon. Bigelow attacks from behind to start, and he pounds away on Ramon. He overpowers Ramon and follows up with a slam, leg drop by Bigelow, and he goes up for a diving headbutt, but he misses. Razor crotches Bigelow against the post. Second rope bulldog by Ramon gets a 2 count. Razor works the leg of Bigelow, and Bigelow misses an enziguri. Clotheslines by Razor have no effect, and Bigelow dumps him to the floor. Back in, Bigelow knocks Razor down with a headbutt for 2. Enziguri by Bigelow gets a 2 count. Bigelow throws some headbutts to the back of Razor, and he grabs the bad guy for the torture rack. Razor's arm goes down twice, and he eventually fights out. Back suplex by Ramon, and both men are down the mat. Rights by Razor, and he slams Bigelow. Razor goes to put Bigelow on top, but Bigelow blocks it. Slam by Bigelow, and he goes up to the top. However, Razor catches him with a powerbomb for a 3 count. What'd you think of this opening bout?
Well, I'll give you what I think, as well as I will go through some art-isms, our first art-isms of the night.
That is to be expected. So probably I'll run down all the commentary or all the action, and then Austin can just pepper us up with some Art Donovan.
Spice it up a little bit. Get that earth moving. Get that earth shaking a little bit here. So, yes, right off the top here, first of all, Razor Ramon's coming down. He looks like $1 million, dude. Razor Ramon looks like the fucking man. And it just, the whole start of this, Bam Bam and Razor, the upgraded lights, Luna in the new silver outfit, kind of starting off really heavy with 2 bigger guys. I was excited for the tournament. This match I thought was a solid choice for an opener. You know, you got these 2 big guys colliding, and whoever wins all the way at the end of the night will be the king. So I was into it, and I was pretty much enjoying it. And for me to enjoy a Bam Bam match is pretty special, because most of the time I kind of don't. So here we go here. The 2 started things off, and Art says that he couldn't stand to even watch all this fighting. Mind you, this is the first match. So I'm thinking it's going to be a long night. Art then says that hurt when we get a crotch on the ring post. Of course that hurt, Art. Yes. Gorilla says that Savage was invited to Bam Bam and Luna's wedding. And Savage says, "Oh, I don't do weddings." which just tickled me. I thought that was perfect. Back to Art Donovan. Art's like, "Oh, wow, now I get it." As far as like the tournament and how it works, that if you win, you progress.
He got that like 20 minutes into
Oh, I get it. So like the super easy to comprehend like tournament concept, he's finally understood. Razor goes out over the top. Art just goes, "Wow, looks like he tore off the top rope." And nobody says anything. Cool. Art begins babbling again. Again, it seems a little bit muted, but I did get that he felt the headbutt down here, is what he says. And all 3 again are just quiet after he said, "I felt that headbutt down here." And then they just start up commentary and talk about something else. So match 1, we're already getting a little bit of Art, shut the fuck up. We're trying to do a show here. Like, can you stop talking out of turn? Because Randy and Gorilla will be talking and like trying to really progress the match. And Art will just go, "Whoa, that had to hurt." And then they just sit there and it's quiet. And Savage will be like, "Anyway, so Owen Hart tonight." And it's like they like talk about shit. So it's just so funny. We're already starting things off with a bang in the ring and outside of it. Bam Bam has Razor up in like a torture rack, almost like a submission.
Yeah. And
Art goes, "What's he gonna do? Throw him out of the ring?" Like, no. No, he's not. He's not going to do that. Art goes, wait a minute. This is the guy I picked to win. He's getting fucking torture rags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put money on him. And Art says, well, I don't have any money, Randy. What the fuck? Art finishes
He's
off.
taking everything so literal.
So literally, dude. Art finishes this little ramble off with, wait, is he dead? Because Razor's not doing anything and he's still in the torture rack. Gorilla says, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's already pissed. Just so funny. Art's saying, oh, what happens now? He's popping on each punch that they throw. It's almost like you picked some idiot out of the crowd who like has no idea about wrestling and just sat him down, and it's a fan. So like they really don't know, but they're like just living in the moment. So funny. So funny. So we got the finish here. It was pretty cool. I liked it. So Razor pulls Bam Bam off the top as if he's setting up for the moonsault. He almost gets like a schoolboy off the top rope. I thought it was cool.
It's like a schoolboy powerbomb thing.
Yeah, which we haven't seen before, so I was okay with it.
I was wondering why he just didn't do the Razor's Edge.
Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah, off the top rope for
I thought that's exactly what he was going to go for because I don't know if he could get Bigelow up with that
regularly.
Yeah, it might have been tough.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But I liked the finish. Again, I liked the match. It didn't feel like it went very long, so they kept it pretty quick. It was all action, and not too much shenanigans. So yeah, I was cool with it. We're already, like I said, starting things off with a bang here at King of the Ring.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I was surprised that this was starting off the show.
So was I.
A pretty strong combination to open your show. I would have thought Jarrett Kidd would be in the opening spot. I just feel like maybe Kidd could have, explosive offense or whatever, but I don't mind Ramon Bigelow starting off.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the match. I was glad Ramon went over. Bigelow looked good. It could be maybe a bit of a rebound now for Bigelow. Maybe
he needs something.
Get that stank off from Doink, and maybe he can venture away and move up the card again. But we'll see how it goes from there. But a solid start. I like the arena. I like the lighting. It just looks like a big time feel.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I'm liking how this show is starting off. Backstage, IRS declares that he'll take care of Mabel. Of course, Mabel's right across from him. But I also noticed that like IRS seemed to get like lost.
Oh my!
For like a sec, like probably about 5 seconds. He was talking, and I feel like his brain just shut down for a second. He was like, "Oh," and then he kind of like found what he was supposed to do, which just was hilarious.
He was literally mid-sentence.
Yeah, and then everything just vanished.
And he's like talking about Tatanka, and he's going off, and I'm gonna make it to the finals because it'll be the last time that I got to take care of anybody before I get what's mine. Or so he like makes it up and then just storms off.
Yeah.
So you could definitely tell he lost his train of thought. It was very obvious.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe he got distracted by Mabel's gold teeth or something. And then he just was like, I got to repossess those and be a whole thing. Of course, he talks about he hopes to get Tatanka in the finals to kind of bring that whole feud together. Mabel says to not overlook him and that he'll take things one man at a time. That brings us to our second match, and it's another, obviously, quarterfinals match for the King of the Ring. It's IRS taking on Mabel, who is with Oscar. Or Oscar is with him, I guess, because Oscar wouldn't be wrestling.
Yeah.
Donovan is like, who the hell is this Mabel guy? He won't shut up about it.
Not only that, when IRS comes down, he's on the mic. Is this one of the wrestlers? He looks like a businessman. Yeah, that's his fucking gimmick, pal. You caught on. Great job. But yeah, Oscar's coming out. He's rapping Mabel to the ring. I was hoping Mabel would be IRS here because
Thank you.
Well, because after that, dude, IRS is looking like a fucking bozo.
He's looking pretty dumb. Yeah.
He's looking like a bozo. But yeah, I'll one more artism before you get into the match here. Art, he asked if Mabel was gonna wrestle with all those glittery clothes on. This guy is big. What's his name? Mind you, I'm pretty sure Mabel is literally on the fucking pants and jacket. So I don't know if he's just wearing an eye patch on both eyes or if he's got like glaucoma, maybe.
There's another instance where he's like, "Who is this guy?" And his name is on his tights.
Like, what the fuck, man? And again, they just don't answer him. They're like, "Fuck off, just shut up, dude."
It's absolutely hilarious. If this pay-per-view sucked, it would be automatically great because of Art Donovan.
Yeah.
Let's get right into the action. Mabel rams IRS head first into the turnbuckles several times, and he hits a slam suplex by Mabel. And of course, Donovan, after the suplex, asks, "How much does this guy weigh?"
Oh my god! Oh, there it is.
It's already starting. Yeah,
the signature. Then he goes, "Oh, this is getting dangerous. I'm gonna get out of here." Okay. Fucking match 2, dude.
Yeah. A Northern Light suplex by Mabel. And he follows up with an elbow drop. Mabel misses an avalanche in the corner, and IRS knocks Mabel to the floor. Back in IRS, it's a leaping clothesline. It follows up with some elbow drops for a 2 count. IRS attempts a slam, but Mabel counters into a small package for a 2 count. IRS goes to the chin lock, but Mabel backs him into the corner to break the hold. Right hands by Mabel, and he hits a backdrop. Clothesline by Mabel, and he hits a back elbow. Boss man slam by Mabel, gets a 2 count. Another slam by Mabel, and he goes up top. IRS shakes the ropes to bring Mabel down, and he covers Mabel while holding the ropes for a 3 count. Obvious choice for IRS to go over, considering Mr. Ramon has moved along as well. I don't know if I would consider this bad. It might be okay. I don't even know if okay. It happened. I would have liked a surprise win by Mabel, though. And I want to point out, it's very hard to suspend your disbelief when someone's able to kick out of an inside cradle by a guy that weighs 540 pounds. So I don't know. As soon as that happened, I was like, get the fuck out of here. There's just no way. I was honestly disappointed for one reason in this whole match, is that IRS didn't go for an abdominal stretch.
Yeah, you know fucking why? Because it's a fucking mini bus in there with him.
I know. But if you're gonna have Mabel do an inside cradle,
I'm telling you, it's them Rey Mysterio moves they assigned to the creative character, dude.
What the fuck is going on? He's never done that. I mean, while he was doing it, he was just like kind of gently taking IRS over. Like, dude, I could probably snap your neck if I move too much to my left. So, like, let's be real careful. IRS powers out of it. Like, you're not 540 pounds.
IRS is probably in the clinch. He's like, all right, small package. Mabel's like, whoop, there it is. And they go down and do it. Like, what the fuck?
No, he was probably small package. Mabel was like, what the fuck you trying to say, dude? My clothes are baggy.
Yeah, there you go. This was rough. I'll be straight up honest with you.
It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Rough. It was rough.
It was like, all right, on a scale of like 0 to 10.
It was a 3.
I was gonna say 3. I was expecting like a 0.5.
Oh, okay.
So it exceeded my expectation for sure.
I just love how I went from such a high to such a oh fuck. God damn it. Is this really what it's gonna be? Because shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. The fucking shook Mabel from the second rope, holds the rope for leverage for a pin. Like, come on. How many fat guys are going to fall off the second rope and get pinned on this fucking
back to back? Really? Yeah.
God damn it.
If there was ever a time to have the collapsible ring moment, it was right there.
Oh God, off the second rope.
Yeah.
Going into some artisms from the match, because you know there's some in here. IRS was getting rammed into the turnbuckle, and Art again goes, "Who's the guy in the white?" And Gorilla's thinking he's talking about IRS because he got the white shirt on. And Art goes, no, the guy on the outside here. And it's Oscar. Right. And Savage says so. Oh, that's Oscar. He's, he manages men on a mission. Art tries to make a joke and say, oh, it must be the guy from the hospital because he's wearing all white because this matches. Oh, boy, this is rough in here. And like... Neither Savage or Gorilla sell it, and it just falls so flat. So Art just kind of laughs at his own joke and keeps going. And then he asks Gorilla and Savage, "Oh, did you guys enjoy doing this when you were in this ring like this? All this dangerous moves?" Gorilla goes, "Oh, absolutely." Art just goes, "I can't imagine." So it's like Gorilla is trying to put over the fact that, yeah, it's super dangerous, but I loved doing it. And Art's just like, nah, fuck that. I can't imagine that shit.
You're an idiot for thinking that.
Yeah, exactly. So Gorilla's probably like, you motherfucker, I'm going to
Meanwhile, Art Donovan played football when they barely had helmets.
Literally.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Fucking pigskin on their head.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. Art also goes, "Oh, this fella, he's got a lot of gold in his mouth. He must be wealthy." Thinking, okay, very insightful. Thank you. It just doesn't end, man. It's almost like Art Donovan commentary extends a match by 5 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
It was like he says so many things when he's not supposed to, that's what I found myself latching onto. And I noted almost every one. So this is going to happen all night, folks. So if you're already sick of Art Donovan and me talking about him, you better fucking tune out right now. Because this is match 2, and he's had, what was that, 4 in one match?
At least, yeah.
So get ready, man. I was dialed into Art Donovan.
God bless Randy Savage and Gorilla Monsoon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both of which have probably lost years on their lives because of this. So,
oh yeah, yeah, their brains had to melt a little bit.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Art.
Yeah,
I think Art actually lived longer than both of them.
Ignorance is bliss, baby.
I think so. Yeah. Jim Cornette rips the Coliseum video crew for coming in to their interview pretty late here. And Mr. Fuji tells Crush and Yokozuna he wants the WWF Tag Team Championships. So kind of like a hype up for those guys going for the gold. Nothing really of substance. They're just kind of like, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Our third match is also our third quarterfinal match for the 1994 King of the Ring tournament. It is Tatanka taking on Owen Hart. Let's get right into the action. Backdrop by Tatanka, gets a 2 count early on. Suplex, gets another near fall. Owen pokes the eye of Tatanka and he overpowers him. Hip toss by Tatanka and he takes Owen over with a Japanese arm drag, showcasing, hey, I can wrestle. Mm-hmm. Owen dumps Tatanka to the floor, but Tatanka pulls Owen out as well, and they fire away on the floor with some right hands. Owen fights back and he sends Tatanka into the post. We go backstage at this point, and Razor and IRS are kind of being held apart as they're confronting each other, and tonight's the night and all these things. Back in the ring, Owen chokes Tatanka in the ropes and jumps onto his back. Owen rakes Tatanka's face off the ropes and he hits a gut wrench suplex. Owen goes up and hits a missile dropkick for a 2 count. Chin lock by Owen, but Tatanka fights out. Owen catches him in a sleeper, but Tatanka fights out of that as well. Tatanka gets fired up and he cleans house on Owen. Tomahawk chop by Tatanka gets a 2 count. DDT also gets a 2 count. Slam by Tatanka and he goes up top. Tomahawk chop off the top, gets another near fall. Tatanka catches Owen with a running power slam for a 2 count. He continues with some more chops and he goes for a sunset flip, but Owen's able to counter it and he is able to keep Tatanka down for a 3 count. So Owen Hart is advancing. Austin, what did you think of this quarterfinal match between Tatanka and Owen?
Really solid. I enjoyed it, actually. I thought the two had really good chemistry, like more than I thought they were going to. So yeah, man, I was pretty into this one. This one kind of snapped me right back into, okay, fuck you out of this tournament. Like, cool. I hope we get more stuff like this and less stuff than we just saw. So yeah, super into it. I'll give Tatanka his fucking due. He kept up with Owen Hart.
I am so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're an OG of this fucking podcast, go back to like episode 4. Or actually even episode 1, where Austin was like, Tatanka sucks. You ain't gonna do nothing. Hey, Shawn Michaels was the reason for a decent match at WrestleMania 9, whatever. For the last 78 episodes, this guy has refused to give Tatanka any credit. And I said from the beginning, God damn it, my goal is for you to give my boy Tatanka a fucking compliment.
Hey, that's not fair. That's not fair.
And you did it before maybe once, but like low key, you didn't really want to say it. But
Crush and Tatanka had some good matches.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, we talked about that.
It was not good.
Well, I was into it.
What are you talking? No.
Yeah, we talked
We
about
just
that.
said over the last 2 episodes when they had like the lumberjack match and stuff, it was fucking awful. What are you talking
Not
about?
that. No, not that. Like way before.
Like not their matches together, but like earlier on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Regardless, now I'm really fucking pumped. This is like woke me up a little bit. The drought is over. Tatanka has gotten his credit. 1994 Wrestler of the Year.
Oh, okay. Well, we're done with that now. Artisms for the match. Here we go. Art asks immediately how much Tatanka weighed. No answer. Owen marches down to the ring. You know, his entrance gets cut short. Again, Art asks how much Tatanka weighs. Randy just finally guesstimates for him. I don't know, Art. Maybe 260 pounds. And then just leaves it at that.
Yeah, doesn't he go like somewhere between like 260, 280?
Yeah, something like
there's
that.
No way that
There's no
Tatanka's
way.
280 pounds.
There's no way.
No, he's 260. He's probably like 245.
Right. Art then like starts talking again, but Gorilla completely takes him over. Like he just starts out talking him and shutting him down. So that was hilarious. Both guys are now outside the ring at this point. Art just keeps saying, "Oh, he hit the ring post. He hit the ring post." Randy, just see that? He hit the ring post. Nobody's saying shit. Art's just babbling here. It's just like I said, it doesn't end. It just doesn't end. Art did get quiet a little bit towards the end of this match because maybe like Randy was like elbowing, "Shut the fuck up, man." I don't know, because he was quiet for a little while, and then we get the DDT on Owen, and Art just goes, "Oh, he's gone. He's dead." It's just killing me, dude. Like, where the fuck did you just come from? We get the surprise win. Again, Art says he can't believe it. But all things considered, man, as ridiculous as, again, Art Donovan's being on commentary, I did enjoy this match. I did.
I'm going to consider this match to be the best pay-per-view match for Tatanka.
I mean,
because what we have to base it off
is
because you got, in terms of singles matches, because you got Michaels at Mania 9, which is decent, bad finish. He fought Luger at King of the Ring, which was kind of a dull match.
Right.
SummerSlam was a 6-man tag, which was pretty good, but again, it's a 6-man.
Yeah.
He wasn't at Survivor Series. And then the Bigelow match at Rumble was solid. But this one had like pretty good pace.
Yes, it stayed consistent, which was nice.
Yeah, so, and I liked how Owen won really on Tatanka's comeback.
Like his momentum carried him
steam.
Through. Yes.
Yeah, like Tatanka had the steam like going on, and then Owen's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna pin you anyway."
Right.
So it really kind of helps Owen that he beat him in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But even in the loss, I think it's a pretty good showing by Tatanka, where he kind of suffered the last probably month and a half or so
of some really rough shit. Yeah. So yes, I agree with you. It was nice to kind of give Tatanka a moment to be Tatanka again a little bit. So yeah, solid match, probably the match of the night thus far. So we'll see if that holds up or if that gets dethroned.
Well, and what's funny too is the IRS was like, "I'm going to beat Tatanka in the finals," and well, Tatanka couldn't get out of the freaking quarterfinal.
Yeah,
IRS did though.
Yeah, right,
right. It's kind of a funny thing. Diesel says that another jackknife powerbomb will be coming Bret's way, and that he will have another championship on his other shoulder. Shawn Michaels chimes in, and he says that he isn't concerned about the family member Bret Hart will have in his corner tonight. Again, that still is a mystery. We're not really sure who Bret Hart will have to combat Shawn Michaels, but we will be finding out soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
We go to our fourth and final King of the Ring quarterfinal match. It's Jeff Jarrett taking on 1-2-3 Kid. Jarrett trips Kid up, and he slams his leg off the apron. He sends Kid hard into the corner, and Kid catches him with an O'Connor roll for a 2 count. Jarrett stomps away, and he hits a back elbow. Clothesline by Jarrett. He misses a drop kick. Victory roll by Kid gets another 2 count. Slingshot suplex by Jarrett, and he hits a fist drop. Spin kick by Kid gets a 2 count. Slam by Jarrett, and he goes up top. Cannonball leg drop off the top misses, and Jarrett goes to jump on him in the ropes, but he also misses. Kid goes up, but Jarrett crouches him and follows up. Kid blocks a superplex, and he hits a crossbody off the top for a 2 count. Kid throws some kicks in the corner, and he charges towards the corner, but Jarrett sweeps the legs, sending Kid crashing to the mat. Jarrett works over the leg of Kid, and he goes for the figure 4, but Kid catches him with a small package for a 3 count. After the match, Jarrett lays out Kid with repeat pile drivers and a couple of top rope fist drops to leave Kid laying, and there's some great concern on whether 1, 2, 3 Kid will be able to even continue in the tournament. What'd you think of Jarrett against Kid in the quarterfinals?
Man, oh man, these fuckers were working lightning quick. It was a very fast-paced match. And honestly, I couldn't have been happier with that because 1, 2, 3 Kid has a very unique ability to get kind of the best out of people. Like I feel like when you're in there with 1, 2, 3 Kid, you have something to prove. Mm-hmm. And guys are consistently trying to step up to the plate and like prove something. Like, oh, this kid works quick. Well, guess what? I can keep up with him. And it makes for fucking pretty good matches. So I think this has been one of Jeff's most solid showings with 1, 2, 3 Kid here. As far as what I was looking for, it was this. You know, I know Jeff can work. I know 1, 2, 3 Kids fucking got dynamic offense. Let's make it happen. And they did. So I was super into it. The out of nowhere finish was cool. Like that was fine with me. That's 1, 2, 3 Kid for you. You know, you got to keep it that way.
Did it not lose steam though? Because it's kind of similar to Owen Tatanka.
I was going to say, you know, the surprise victories at this point, it's almost like, okay, we're in the first round matches. Like we could probably spread those out a little bit. But regardless, again, it's 1, 2, 3 Kid. So I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Art isms, because again,
here we go.
This is the King of the Ring 1994, unless you forgot. Right off the top here, Art asks who 1, 2, 3 Kid is. He goes, Randy, who's this? Who's this guy?
This is what I was referencing with. I made sure to look. It literally has Kid.
Yes.
And 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
On his fucking tights, and
you know, Art has a sheet in front of him that says 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Jeff Jarrett. You know he has that.
Well, Savage for sure does right next to him, so he's got a
over
or something.
So he asks, you know, who's this? Art goes, oh, it looks like some kind of boxer, which I'm not sure where he's getting that comparison, but okay, we'll roll with it. Art says he's seen better clotheslines here than he has in the last 13 years in the NFL. Boy, I'd hope so, because last I knew NFL, they didn't really throw clotheslines like they do in the WWF.
At least not legal clotheslines.
Sure. So we got that peppered in there. According to Art Donovan, Jeff Jarrett is a cutie. He made sure to note that. And as Jeff is dropping 1, 2, 3 Kid with the 2 pile drivers out of spite after the match, Art is saying that they should call out the Marines to come save 1, 2, 3 Kid, and that they could count to 1,000 and 1, 2, 3 Kid would not get up. So thank you, Art Donovan, for again just spicing up our lives in the final qualifying match here. Not qualifying match, the
quarterfinal.
Yeah, quarterfinal matches. So that's what we got with this one. It was very quick. It's all it needed to be. And I knew for sure after they did the ending angle, I was willing to bet my house on it. But that 1, 2, 3 Kid is not moving on to the next. Like, he's just going to not show up. Right. Owen Hart's going to get a bye like he wanted to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's what I was expecting coming out of this one.
Right. I liked it. Pretty decent match here. The finish was kind of underwhelming just because pretty similar to what we had just seen with Owen and Tatanka.
Right.
I will tell you right now, I really enjoyed the aftermath because it showed fire in Jeff Jarrett and like viciousness that before he did not have. And his feud with Doink has kind of made him look kind of like an idiot or not. You know, you can't really take him serious.
Yes.
I mean, he's trying to kidnap Dink or whatever, and he couldn't even make it up the aisleway. before deciding to just ditch that idea.
Well, maybe he was hoping you wouldn't bring it up again, you motherfucker.
No, I will bring it up for as long as I can. So I really, really enjoyed that. And if this is like type of angle where it's like, all right, guys, Jarrett, Kid, you guys are going to be on the house shows for the next 3 months doing matches.
Dude, yeah.
Sign me up for that, because I would, seeing that on the guard, like, they did really well for like 5 or 6 minutes they got here. I can't imagine what they'll do with 12 on like a house show match or something.
Right.
So pretty effective. I would agree with you. The way that they were hyping up, like, Owen Hart's probably going to get his bye just to give even Owen more heat going into it.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Oh, right. I would have I would have had him get the bye from the get-go.
Yes, I agree.
You know, I think that would have been pretty good, but I guess you had to get Tatanka on there to I mean, these victories for Owen, I mean, it's a really brand new heel run here.
Yes.
So even like a win over Tatanka is pretty big, I would have to think.
They're important, right? Because Owen, like you said, he kind of needs them. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they didn't go for the bye in the beginning. And honestly, I'm okay that they didn't, because we got a solid match out of it. So
yeah, and it builds his credibility if he's able to beat Tatanka, who still has, like, he just came off of a 2-year undefeated run.
Exactly.
And then Owen's handing him a clean loss at that. So it's the end of an era, Austin.
I'm surprised you didn't skip over this.
I did not. I made sure to note it because, ladies and gentlemen, we got our first ever ad or video package, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because it's a new era, ladies and gentlemen. The golden era is over. The old stars are gone, and they made sure to point out that Hulk Hogan was part of that group. It's the WWF New Generation.
Yeah.
Out with the old, and I believe it was like Hogan,
Iron Sheik's in there.
Bundy? Was Bundy on there?
I don't think Bundy.
Bottom right, they made sure.
No, it was one of the Russians.
Oh, probably Boris Zukov or whatever.
Somebody like that. But yeah, it was Andre, it was Hogan, Iron Sheik, and there was one other guy. Can't remember who it was though.
Well, out with the old, in with the new. Hulkster's going to WCW, so of course they're like, "Hey, fuck you, man. You're old. Don't go watch the old guys. Watch the new guys." Now, I want to point out, as soon as I saw this, Nikolai Volkov,
dude,
is on WWF television.
Jerry Lawler,
Roddy Piper, yeah, Jerry Lawler. I mean, like, what are we talking about? The new generation, and you're putting guys on that are 80 stars on your own programming. It'd be different if all these guys were like 25 years old or something, but you could even make an argument that Bret Hart could be seen as an older guy. I mean, he was like 85, 86. Yeah, so I mean, you're kind of just slapping your own, like Savage for sure. I mean, he's commentary,
right? Which is funny because imagine if they threw his ass in there.
Yeah, out with the old. Oh yeah, I can't hang anymore either.
Fuck.
Why do you think I'm at the commentary table? Oh yeah, I ain't forced to be here. I love it.
Yeah. So instead, we get shots of 1, 2, 3 Kid, Razor, a couple other guys. Yeah, man, it's the new generation, and what a spot to kind of throw this on. This is randomly in the middle of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was not. I would for sure think that this would have been on Raw or something.
Came out of nowhere. Yeah. Came out of nowhere. And that's literally the first thing I thought of immediately. Shots fired at Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
Absolutely.
So it's funny that you picked up on that too, because that was in my mind, that's the only reason they just showed that.
I'm pretty sure Hogan, this is the 19th. I want to say like a week prior to this, Hogan was like, he had a parade and everything. I might be wrong. I'm not even going to look up the date, but I know it's in June that they have like the parade and everything.
Right.
So yeah, pretty bad. Pretty much shots are being fired already, folks.
It's blatant.
We go to Bret Hart, and he says that Diesel will not jackknife power bomb him again, and he says that Diesel made a mistake underestimating him and overestimating himself. Bret has taken guys Diesel's size down before, and he says that he has a backup plan for Shawn Michaels.
Really quick here with this promo, And Bob's gonna fucking roll his eyes because I've said it before.
A fucking great promo by Bret.
Lately, though, when Bret talks, I believe him because I feel like he believes him.
Oh, right. I'm not gonna roll my eyes at that. Absolutely. Anything Bret says, he thinks is reality.
Yeah. So
he
like,
forgets that this is all like a fucking story. Like none of it's.
it makes me buy into it, so I fucking like it.
No, I get it. I get it.
You know, so it was another instance here where it's nothing new that Bret Hart is saying. It's just the conviction he's saying his words in that just it sucks me in right now for Bret. And this again was another one of those promos. So I was really, really hoping that the Diesel Bret match was going to be something cool because I didn't want to hate it. I really didn't want to hate it. So I'm holding out hope for it.
So that leads us to our, I guess you could say, main event. What should be the main event? But instead,
get me fucking started.
What is instead of the middle
on the main event? We're not ready for that right now. We're not even ready for that. Don't do it.
All right, let me just regain my composure. It's the WWF World Championship match. Champion Bret Hart defending against WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel. Of course, only the World Championship is on the line. Diesel has pretty much nothing to lose at all. And remember, Bret has a family member in his corner, and it's revealed during his entrance. Now, Austin, going into this, you were hoping for
Stu Hart.
Stu Hart. I was hoping for one of the Bruce or Keith.
Oh, I thought you said British Bulldog, you lying ass.
Did I say Bulldog? Oh, I wanted probably Bulldog would be great, but I mean Bruce too. Like, hey, come on, man, my run, baby, I'm here. Let's do this. Instead, I had mentioned this in the Observer notes a couple weeks ago, and I totally fucking forgot about it. I totally forgot about it. Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Fuck you, Bob.
The Hart Foundation is back, baby. Neidhart is making his return to the company. I think the last time he was there was, 92? So he's been gone for probably close to 2 years.
I would have read Stu.
He had a brief run, I think, in WCW as like The Who or something. Or is that later on? I don't remember.
Who cares?
Or no, maybe he was The Who I think is later on. He was just Jim the Anvil Neidhart. He had like 2 matches on Saturday night, and they're just like, you fucking suck it out of here. So, it was weird. He seemed like with Junkyard Dog one time. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? And he was never to be seen ever again.
Really quick here before we get into the match breakdown. Sure. Diesel's coming out. I wanted him to win so fucking bad. Diesel looks like the baddest motherfucker in the WWF right now.
Yeah, so maybe let's talk about that before we get into the match. So the months leading into this, okay, we've whether it be the accent or even maybe the look, we've kind of thought Diesel was missing maybe a little bit of something.
Yes.
Even when he does the promo with Shawn Michaels, I'm looking at this motherfucker. I'm like, holy hell, this guy looks like a star. I don't know if he got a haircut or if he like trimmed his beard or something.
Well,
but or his demeanor, maybe he's just like confident all of a sudden. But he was just looking at the camera like, I'm gonna fucking wreck you, Bret. And I'm like, holy shit, he might.
You know what? It's so funny because he's definitely grown his beard out because he went from just the goatee to the full beard.
The full beard. That's gotta be the full beard then.
He did. So, but it's definitely his swagger.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Nash historically has a swagger to him that's unlike anybody else. There's just like a cocky coolness to Kevin Nash. And it's finally starting to like creep out. And as Diesel's making this entrance, he's getting the pyro, the fucking Diesel honking, and like he goes in the middle of the ring like the cockiest motherfucker and barely even puts his arm up. He's like, yeah, fuck you guys. And it's just like, oh my God, please fucking win. I love Bret Hart, but fucking break his back.
Just do it.
Please.
Yeah, just do it.
So 100% Diesel. Let's go.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just get into it right now. Now, I'm going to warn you guys right now. This is a fairly lengthy match, so there's going to be quite a bit of dialogue here. So just bear with me as I burn through this as quickly and accurate as I can. Diesel fires away on Bret in the corner to start, and he chokes him with his boot, right by Bret, and he crotches Diesel in the ropes, dropping a headbutt to the midsection by Bret, and he gets the O'Connor roll for 2 count. Bret goes for a crossbody, but Diesel blocks and slams him. He misses an elbow drop and pokes Bret in the eye for a comeback. Diesel works over Bret, and he chokes away on him in the corner. Diesel goes for a knee strike in the corner, but Bret moves. He throws some kicks to the leg of Diesel and begins to work over the leg of the challenger. Figure 4 by Bret, and he lets go when it becomes apparent Diesel was not going to quit. Bret continues to work over the leg, but Diesel kicks Bret to the floor to end that nonsense. Bret takes Diesel down and slams Diesel's leg off the post a few times. Shawn clotheslines Bret on the floor, and Neidhart chases after him. Back in, Bret goes up and leaps, but Diesel blocks, bringing him down to the mat. Bear hug by Diesel, but Bret rakes the eyes to break the hold. A drop kick to the back by Bret, and he dumps Diesel to the floor. Slingshot dive misses, and Bret crashes hard to the floor. Diesel rams Bret into the post and then back in. Diesel throws some forearms to the back of Bret. Diesel sends Bret hard into the corner, and he hits a sidewalk slam for a 2 count. Backbreaker by Diesel, and he stretches Bret across his knee. Diesel releases and quickly hits an elbow drop for a 2 count. Diesel chokes Bret in the ropes, and he jumps on the back of the champion. Diesel sends Bret hard into the corner stern reverse for a 2 count. Roll up by Bret, gets another 2, and Diesel hits a short arm clothesline for a near fall. A neck crank or vice, whichever one you want to say, by Diesel, and Bret fights out of it. Backbreaker again by Diesel, gets a 2 count. He grabs a gut wrench submission on Bret as Shawn begins to untie one of the corner turnbuckles. Bret counters into a sleeper, but Diesel rams him into the corner to break it. Bret goes back to the sleeper, but again, Diesel rams Bret into the corner to break the hold. Diesel sends Bret into the ref, and Diesel exposes the turnbuckle. Bret blocks Diesel's attempt to ram him headfirst into it, and he drives Diesel into the exposed corner. Rights by Bret, and he hits some punches in the corner. Bret rocks Diesel with some rights, and he hits some clotheslines that take Diesel off his feet for a 2 count. Side rush and leg sweep by Bret, and he hits a second rope elbow drop for 2. Second rope bulldog by Bret, and he goes for the sharpshooter. Shawn distracts the referee, so Bret knocks him off the apron. Second rope clothesline by Bret gets a 2 count. Small package by Bret gets another 2. Bret tries to leap over Diesel, but he catches him. He goes for snake eyes, but Bret escapes. Big boot by Diesel, and Bret takes him down into the sharpshooter. Diesel quickly grabs the ropes to break it, and Bret drop kicks Diesel to the floor. Diesel nails Neidhart from behind, and Shawn nails Bret from behind with the belt. Back in, Diesel hits an elbow drop for a 2 count. Neidhart nails Shawn on the floor as Diesel hits the jackknife powerbomb on Bret, but Neidhart enters the ring, and he attacks Diesel to cause a disqualification. Neidhart leaves in frustration as Diesel and Michaels get some more cheap shots in on Bret. So this goes nearly a half hour. Literally goes about, I think, 26 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Diesel hitting the jackknife probably would have won the belt if he was able to take the pin. Neidhart, I guess, kind of screwing over Diesel and saving the belt for Bret. Kind of a weird finish. Kind of to be expected, because I don't think we're going to take the belt off of Bret quite yet.
Right.
I will say this. I was shocked by how much I like this match. Literally shocked. If you had told me back in August when Diesel was first doing his enhancement matches that by June of 94 he's going to be Intercontinental Champion, let alone wrestling Bret Hart for the World Championship, and it being a really entertaining match. I mean, sure, Diesel kind of has like 5 or 6 moves, and he repetitively did a backbreaker a few times. But for the flow of the match, I thought it was pretty good. They had like one slip up where Diesel like didn't catch him, I think, on something coming off the ropes or whatever, and they kind of stumbled down. But really, aside from that, pretty good. Like arguably filler world title match. A lot of credit's got to go to Bret, probably for the structure of this and how he was able to make Diesel look like a fucking monster. Totally believable challenger for the future. I will say this. I was dying laughing when Neidhart was chasing Shawn Michaels and he would crawl underneath the bottom rope like he was in the military, as if it was faster than him actually just running. It actually slowed you down, Jim. When Shawn Michaels was running and you feel the need to slide in the ring, crawl, jump back down, and then run. Shawn Michaels would have ran around the ring 3 times before you got the first time down, but whatever. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing this again, maybe with more substantial of the heat or story behind it. Blew me away. I was really impressed by how this played off. What'd you think of it, Austin?
This match is probably easily in my top 5 matches that we've seen on this series.
Absolutely.
I believe that this is probably the best Kevin Nash match I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of my head. Like, I can't think of a better, more competitive Kevin Nash match than this. The fucking twilight of the match where they're both fucking spent and getting near falls, and Kevin Nash is barely coming off the ropes, but he hits a big boot, and just the rolling in and out of pins. And dude, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This match holds up and then some.
Absolutely. If you're a big guy in professional wrestling, looking to cut your teeth in and like, how do I work a match with a smaller opponent? Again, the credit here goes to Bret Hart for probably calling all the fucking spots or whatever, but fucking Diesel executes it pretty damn well.
And he sells his ass off. He really does.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
If this isn't a 5-star match in 1994, I don't know what is. Big fight feel, turns Diesel into a fucking star. Like, he's main event. He's a main event guy. Hands down. Like, it's just an obvious progression to me at this point, to whereas like before, it just felt so out of place and like too soon. Like, what the fuck? But like, Bret has just made this guy.
Oh yeah.
Made him.
Oh yeah.
Diesel's a made man. This match had no business being as good as it did, but it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was floored at how much I liked this match. Floored. It was about a half hour. It didn't feel like that.
No.
That's how invested
I would have thought it went like 15, 16 minutes.
Dude.
When I looked it up, it was like 26:30. I was like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way.
And even with all the shenanigans, the interference and the run-in, and Shawn hits fucking Bret with the belt at one point, even with all that, as much as that would usually muddy down a match, this match was fucking great.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't mind the focus on Neidhart like chasing around either. Because that was usually when they were both down. There was no actual action going on.
Right.
So that helped the flow as well. Because if you're just watching the match and these guys on the mat 6 times like laid out, you're probably going to feel like it's dragged out. But there's a distraction going on to make you not even really aware of that.
Yes. Dude. Fuck yeah to this match. If you haven't seen this match and you're a Bret Hart fan, or maybe you're a Kevin Nash fan, even from like WCW days and stuff, fucking watch this match.
Yeah.
Not enough people are talk about this match. This match should be talked about.
Super underrated.
Honestly,
I would easily consider this at least, like, even modern day right now, easily a 4-star match.
It's really, really good. The story from start to finish is really good.
And I love, I don't mean to cut you off, but I love the fact that Diesel, in fact, hit the jackknife.
Yes.
Like, he hit it.
That was it. He
did it. So he's a heel who's like, I'm going to hit the jackknife. And when I do, I'm going to pin you. Yes. So he did it, but he got fucked over by Neidhart.
Right.
So I love this story. I love that they're like, Diesel fucking kept his word. He just a victim of circumstance because of Jim Neidhart. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm on the Diesel bandwagon. I was not on it to begin with, and then I put my tippy toes on it. After watching this, I'm like, sign me the fuck up for Diesel.
Fucking, I've saved a seat for you for fucking weeks.
I know.
By the time you jumped on.
Listen, man, I gotta make sure the product's good before I jump on it. All right. He proved himself to me for the last probably couple weeks to a month.
Good Lord, man. What a match. Holy shit. So yeah, really, really good. Really solid. Not a lot of low points, especially for a big guy moving around that much for that long. Not a lot of low points. And yeah, the finish. So that was kind of a hot topic of debate before we got into the King of the Ring, because what do you fucking do?
Yeah.
I can't be more thankful that it wasn't a count out or a fucking more of a schmaz than it was. You know what I mean? It didn't feel cheap. I feel like they actually kind of thought about this finish. So I was cool with it. You know, I was cool with it. I feel like it worked. So yeah, man, super happy with this match. I'm glad that this was kind of my. Did I cut out a little bit?
Yeah, we froze up for a second, but I think we're good.
But no, I was saying I'm glad this was kind of my cutoff point as far as like, because I did watch the King of the Ring in 2 parts. I saved this to start my second part, and I'm really glad I did because holy shit, like a fresh pair of eyes to watch this match. Absolutely, I don't remember it being this good, so that just goes to show that it's underrated. Go out of your way to watch this if you've never seen it, for sure, for sure. Going back to the top though, of course. What would a 1994 King of the Ring match be without some Art Donovanisms?
Hey.
So here we go. Let me cough.
Let me have some of my you're coughing. Let me open my granola bar here so I can enjoy this. Hopefully I don't choke on it.
Yeah, I almost just choked on air. So again, we're right at the top here, right at the beginning. Art looks at the size of Anvil. He goes, "Oh, how about this guy, huh? Did he play football?" And then I'm pretty sure Gorilla says, "Oh yeah, he played, Canadian football or something like that." And then Art goes, "Oh, and how about this guy, Diesel? He's pretty big too, huh? Did he play football too?" And they just don't say anything. It's like, who gives a fuck? Going back through here, Art brings up, the David versus Goliath dynamic. Gorilla's like, yeah, and we know how that ended, right? To kind of foreshadow, okay, David conquers Goliath. But Art doesn't take it that way. He goes, yeah, he hit him with a big rock. It's like, no, you've missed the point completely, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
Again, nobody says anything. Going back through here, let's see what else we got. Oh, I think I might have misheard, but it sounded like Art says he thinks that all 4 men have gone goddamn crazy. That's what it sounded like he said. Could
I don't remember that.
The verdict's out on that one, but this was another point where they had to have lowered his audio a little bit again. But I did want to note that in there because that's kind of what it fucking sounded like. Let's see. What else did we have from good old Art Donovan? You got to scroll through because there's just so many. So we get the finish of the match. He's kind of quiet for a little while. He's probably again got elbowed by Savage saying, "Shut the fuck up, man."
Yeah, what are you doing, brother?
So we get the non-title change. It was an awesome match. Bret finally gets up. He's announced as still the champion and gets a pretty warm reception, of course, from the crowd. Art goes, "You think Bret Hart will sleep good tonight?" Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, what? I hope so. He fucking earned a good night's sleep after that shit.
Well, maybe because he's saying he was announced the winner, but he didn't actually win. Or he didn't win.
Yeah, but that's not a point to make about the babyface.
Right.
Yeah. Good old Art Donovan. But that kind of wrapped it up for him for this match. He was definitely quieter, but there was a couple that I wanted to make sure that we peppered in there. Plenty more to go, folks.
I'll tell you right now, this is arguably like the midway point probably for the show.
Yeah.
Easily like the strongest halfway point for pay-per-view that we've seen, I would say, this far.
Yes.
Like, for sure.
Absolutely. I agree.
Let's go backstage. Jerry Lawler is cutting a promo on Roddy Piper and how Piper rose from obscurity, and he's going to knock him into oblivion. Lawler also focuses on some insults towards the kids in the hospital in Canada, saying that they are begging for Piper to win. But you know what? Lawler's not going to let that happen. They're going to still be begging for him to win.
He ain't going to let that happen. You know what?
Fuck you. Fuck you, kids. That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying, dude.
Yeah, literally.
fucking A.
I hope all the kids die. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, he's saying it. Oh, it's a historic event. You know, he does mention that Art Donovan's a mumbling fool at ringside, which I loved.
Yeah.
He says that Art Donovan is living proof that age doesn't always mean wisdom, which again is super funny. And Lawler's basically laughing off the winnings here. He says he's gonna give nothing to those brats in Canada if he wins. He doesn't care what Roddy thinks he's gonna do with the money. He's going to win, and he's not giving any of the winnings to anybody but him. So fuck you out of that. I think it's funny that Lawler's whole premise on this little feud is like fuck the sick kids in the hospital.
That's really what it is.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, a nice little piece we got here from Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. Let's go right to our next match. It's the first King of the Ring semifinal match. It's Razor Ramon taking on IRS. Now, of course, these guys had feuded towards the end of 93 and through all of 94 right now. Kind of maybe the blow off of it is happening right here.
Oh, God.
Razor attacks IRS and sends him into the post. Back in, IRS hits a knee lift to the midsection, and he delivers a snapmare, followed by an elbow drop for a 1 count backbreaker by IRS, and he charges, but Razor moves, sending IRS crashing to the floor. IRS pulls Razor to the floor, and Razor works IRS with some strikes. Back in, Razor hits some rights, but IRS clips the leg of Razor to end that nonsense. Back elbow by IRS, and he goes to the rear chin lock. Razor begins to fight out, and he hits a back elbow on IRS. Razor sends IRS hard into the corner, and he tosses IRS down by the tie. Clothesline by IRS. And Razor catches him with the Razor's Edge for the 3 count. I mean, I don't... IRS is not fun to watch at all. Literally, everything I just read to you, you would have thought like IRS was 65 years old and he couldn't really do much of anything. He's like what, maybe in his like late 30s, early 30s at this point. He's just not doing a whole lot of anything. I didn't care about it. The crowd didn't really seem all that invested into it. And this is a feud that's been going on for like 9 months now, folks. I'm glad Razor won, but I didn't really care. This is why I wanted Mabel to win. So I didn't have to do this.
I mean, yeah, no, and I get you. Don't get me wrong, but honestly, I do like IRS. But IRS is the type of guy where if you don't put him on the right spot on your cart, it's gonna feel like you're going 90 down the highway, and then all of a sudden the guy in front of you just does a brake check, and it's like fuck, and it's like whiplash. You know what I mean? Because he takes momentum and kills it. Just
aside from the 1993 SummerSlam, where he had the best match on the card with 1-2-3 Kid.
I'm giving that more so to 1-2-3 Kid. But no, he's like you could be having your foot down on the gas pedal as hard as you can go, and IRS will slam on those brakes. It's just such a slowdown. Like the pace just does not fit anywhere. So you just got to really, really, if you're going to use them, you got to be really careful where you do, especially in 1994.
He needs the right opponent too.
Yes.
You can't work with somebody bigger than him like Razor.
No. So yeah, I expected this one to be quick. Of course, we expect Razor to move through. Absolutely. You know, Razor's looking like he's a little gassed still, maybe, because there was a couple of stuttering spots here. You know, IRS at one point could barely get Razor up for like a backbreaker. Gorilla calls him out on it.
Yeah.
About him not being able to like lift Razor up. You know, the leverage with the choke and the bottom rope is all like stalling a lot of stalling with IRS. Art mentions that 1-2-3 Kid will never show up for his match. Never. Which I'm sure Art Donovan has no idea who even 1-2-3 Kid is. So I think it's funny that he's making predictions. Art also says, oh, this is the guy I picked now to win, right? Razor? Okay.
Yeah,
like,
he keeps on forgetting who he picked to win the match.
Like, how do you not fucking know? We did get like a mistimed jump for the Razor's Edge, which looked really silly. Again, Gorilla pointed that out, that something was mistimed there. Razor gets the pin. He just kind of walks out. It felt very, hey, we didn't want to do this match, but like we had to. So like, here you go.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. So that kind of sucked for being a semifinal.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt watching it.
Right. And I went through all the artisms because, again, this match was very quick. So we only had like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Pretty forgettable stuff. So let's just kind of move on from that. Backstage, Bret Hart is fucking pissed. He is looking for Jim Neidhart, but he can't find him. He's pretty much, Jim. Come on, where are you, Jim? I was hoping for like some random guy to be like, what?
Dude, so was I.
Who's looking for me?
Well, because he opened one of the locker rooms randomly, and like he kind of stopped and looked like he was looking at somebody, and then was just like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
I was hoping Positively Canyon was going to come out and diamond cutter the shit out of him. Because that's what it felt like, man. It felt like something was going to happen, and then nothing happened. He just like walked through and then left.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird segment.
It was weird.
For like 10 seconds and cutting away from it.
Yeah.
Let's go to our second semifinal match. It's Owen Hart against 1-2-3 Kid. Yes, folks, 1-2-3 Kid, in fact, showed up. It took him a couple moments here. They played his music, and they were like, oh, is he going to come out? And then sure enough, he did. And I'm going to tell you right now, the start off of this match, a lot of people are saying it's like the greatest baseball slide spot ever because it is.
Dude.
1-2-3 Kid is making his way out to the ring. The lights are down. He gets to ringside. He gets fucking nailed by a baseball slide from Owen Hart. That just took him out. Like,
how 1-2-3 Kid's nipples didn't end up on his back is beyond me. Owen Hart had to have collapsed his chest because he kicked him that hard.
Yeah. Like full speed, like he must have been pissed at 1-2-3 Kid about something.
Dude,
fucking lit him up.
Oh my! It was violent. That's how I would explain that baseball slide, as fucking violent. And it came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden, Owen's legs are just coming out. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
That's some good director shit right there.
Oh my god!
So
man.
Bravo to those guys for that.
Holy shit!
Owen wasn't done because he goes right back into the ring and then proceeds to hit a suicide dive.
It's like who's this, Virgil? What the fuck is going on here?
Fuck you! Like I'm gonna fucking take you out with this suicide.
Oh my god!
Back in, Owen goes up and hits a flying splash for a 2 count. I thought it was over right there,
dude. Yeah, so did I.
1-2-3 Kid sends Owen Sturm first into the corner and he goes up top. Crossbody off top by Kid gets a 2 count. Inside cradle by Kid gets another 2. Kid throws some kicks and ends with a spin kick for a 2 count. Insecurity by Owen gets a 2 count. Northern Lights suplex by Kid gets a 2 as Owen got his foot on the ropes. Owen bails and Kid hits a slingshot somersault splash or dive to the floor onto Owen. Back in, Kid goes for a spin kick, but Owen catches him with a German suplex for a 2 count. Belly to belly suplex by Owen gets another 2 count. Victory roll by Kid gets a 2 as Owen rolls through for another 2 count. Owen blocks a Hurricanrana with a power bomb, and then he locks in the sharpshooter, causing Kid to submit. Easily the best 4-minute match I've ever seen in my entire life.
This match came like 5 years early. People aren't even knowing what the fuck they're seeing right here. Like, Jesus Christ, these guys are they're throwing caution to the wind for this one. Really, really good match. It felt like they literally fit in 40 minutes into maybe 4.
Yeah, they packaged it all really, really tight.
Oh my God, man. It was nonstop. It was nonstop. Awesome match. First of all, I didn't expect 1-2-3 Kid to come out. Like I didn't think
it was good.
Yeah, I didn't think Owen's coming out fresh as a fucking daisy. I'm thinking, okay, he's getting a bye. Art asks how much Owen weighs. Of course he does. So yeah, I'm thinking he's getting a bye here. We end up getting a fucking kick-ass match. Awesome German suplex. Even like the basic moves were really fucking good. Savage on commentary says that he was glad he was retired about 4 times because these guys are fucking killing each other.
Yeah.
And it was just so good. Owen Hart gets the tap out for the finish, which was awesome. It was just such a sprint of a match. It's like, oh my God, I got to catch my breath after that shit. I feel like I just wrestled that match.
Yeah, highly enjoyable.
Fuck.
Even with Kid losing, though, I mean, he looks like really good.
Dude. 1, 2,
he
3
beats
kid.
Jarrett and has this type of quick match with Owen where he's still hitting like somersault dives and a bunch of different kicks and suplexes.
It's
I
insane.
Really enjoyed it.
It's insane. 1, 2, 3 kid he's like a time traveler.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to be having these matches in 1994. Like, where do you fucking come from? Where did you come from? Insane.
Yeah, a really 4-minute match or whatever. I think it's less than that. It's like 3 minutes or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was less than that. Yeah.
A really, really good match.
Really good.
Let's go to a really good promo. Roddy Piper talks about the trash talk that Lawler has been spewing the last few weeks. And he claims that Lawler isn't a true king. If you ever thought that he was a true king, he's not. So there's that. Thanks, Roddy Piper. Appreciate it. Let's go right into our next match. It's for the WWF World Tag Team Championships, the Head Shrinkers.
Whoa. That's all you're going to say about the Piper promo?
I don't want to talk anymore about it.
Holy shit.
Promos. I don't. I tune out, man. I'm telling you. I just, if it's longer than 2 minutes, I'm like, fuck it. I'm out. I can't deal with it.
Well, just to break it down for the people.
Okay, great. Yeah, you do it. Yeah, great.
A little bit more. Piper jokes. He says, "Where am I? Oh, yeah, Baltimore. Why am I in Baltimore? Oh, because Jerry the King of Lawler wants to fight me. Okay." He laughs off the imitation that Piper had, or that Lawler had last week with the kid that was in the ring. Piper says that they ought to hire him and just get rid of Piper. He was impressed with the imitation. Piper also says that, you never trust a guy with no neck. He calls Lawler King Toad. Piper runs down Kings and says basically that the time for talk is over. Tonight we're going to see King pay the Piper, and there ain't no such thing as Kings, which has been his gimmick since fucking day one here. I will say, compared to the rest of the shit Piper's been mailing into the show, this was probably the best Piper video we've seen thus far. That's not saying much, but there was a certain intensity here for this one, where it felt like Piper was taking it a little bit more serious.
Yeah, well, okay. Because I'm pretty sure this is the promo where he's, backstage, the camera comes in, he's like, "Oh, look at me usually I take my pants off first."
Well,
or whatever. And I'm just like, as soon as he says that, I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care about this angle at all.
Well, yeah.
Even as you were talking about it, I was tuned out because I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. It all came out of nowhere. This whole fucking feud is.
It's a favor. They're doing him a favor.
I know, but he's not doing me a favor by fucking doing it for the last 2 months.
Exactly. I have a sweet spot for Piper. I really do.
Don't know.
I really do. As a character, I think that's really all it is.
I don't know.
But yes, I would say compared to the rest of the shit we've seen from Piper, that just literally is not like nothing. It's like dead air. At least this one had a little bit of I don't know. It just felt a little bit more important. So I was into it. I took it for what it was. Bob's fucking skipping right over shit.
I don't care.
Well, that pisses me off because I like Roddy Piper, so fuck you.
Well, I mean, we all like different things. So.
Yeah, you like fucking Tatanka.
I mean, not as much as I did last year.
You better not, you son of a bitch. You ain't know you do shit.
That's fizzled, I would say, quite significantly.
Yeah.
But all right, let's go for real, okay? To the WWF World Tag Team Championship match. It's the Head Shrinkers with Captain Lou Albano and Afa defending against Yokozuna and Crush, who have Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji in their corner. Early on, they brawl to start everyone trading headbutts, more so effectively for the champions and the challengers, but they all kind of like no-sell it. Head Shrinkers knock the challengers to the floor, and then back in, Yokozuna officially starts with Samu, chops by Samu, and he goes for a slam, but Yokozuna blocks it, spin kick by Samu, and he drop kicks Yokozuna, knocking him back to the floor. Back in, Crush tags in along with Fatu. Crush fires away, but Fatu comes back with a pile driver. Second rope diving headbutt by Fatu gets a 2 count. Fuji nails Fatu in the back with his flag stick, allowing Crush to close line Fatu. Pile driver by Crush gets a 2 count. Drop toe hold, leg drop combo by the challengers gets a 2 count as Samu makes the save. Nerve hold by Crush, but Fatu begins to fight out. Slam by Crush ends the momentum, and Yokozuna tags in. Yokozuna misses the hip check in the corner, and Samu tags in. Power slam by Samu, and he clotheslines Yokozuna. They collide mid-ring, and the head shrinkers super kick Yokozuna to the floor. Samu goes up, but Yokozuna crashes into the post on the floor, crotching Samu, which makes a quang noise. Crush follows up and hits a superplex on Samu. Leg drop by Crush, and Yokozuna follows up with one of his own. Lex Luger with maybe another atrocious attire decision, which maybe we'll talk about in a minute. Comes out and he distracts Crush, allowing Samu to roll him up for a 2 count. Crush clotheslines Samu to the floor, and Fatu super kicks Crush, leading to a 3 count. Luger stays on the floor. He's like, "Come on, dude. Come on. You want some of this? Come on here." So Crush is like, "All right, fuck you, man. You just screw me over." He jumps to the floor and he attacks Luger after the match, but the head shrinkers make the save. Luger stands tall in the ring with the champions. You know what? Surprisingly decent tag title match. Don't give me
what
like,
the fuck.
I thought it was kind of good. I mean, it went off the rails a couple of times. But for a random ass match, I can't say I hated this. It was, I would say it was average for sure.
Pointless, man.
Yeah, pointless, whatever. It's an average match for sure. The Luger involvement with his fucking full spandex
dude
outfit, which
holy fuck,
which was honestly hilarious.
Holy fuck.
Like, how did he wake up and was like, "I'm gonna wear this to the arena"?
Okay, if we're gonna talk about that, let's talk about it.
Or like wardrobe was like, "Luger, we got a great outfit for you. Here you go, buddy. Spandex." Complete. Loved it. Looked absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It literally, so fucking Lex comes down. Lex is supposed to be like kind of like this badass, like good guy for America. Lex comes down in a cut-off American flag white shirt that it looks like he bought at Walmart during like the 4th of July special or something. It's literally a white shirt with a small American flag in the middle. And what I can only assume, because again, he's still got the top on, is a pair of red, white, and blue candy cane leggings. Like, where do you fucking get that?
How does that enter your brain? Like, I need to wear that.
I look fucking good in this shit. It was like some Richard Simmons, let's get physical fucking
it absolutely did.
Women's workout outfit.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. And then come to find out, like Bob says, it's a fucking full singlet. And you know what?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, Lex? If you want to pull that shit, you better be wrestling in that from now on.
Yeah.
If I'm Vince,
your new attire.
Yeah, if I'm Vince, I'm saying, oh, good God damn it. You're wearing that from now on.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's what we got. But, you know, taking it for what it was, man, just for me, and don't get me wrong, I actually liked the pairing of Crush and Yokozuna.
It's a good, it's a good combo. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. It was just pointless. And like, I knew it was pointless. So I just didn't care. I really didn't. Kind of took my enjoyment out of the match a little bit, to be honest.
See, I'm completely the opposite way. For a little filler, clearly a filler tag match, it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. The finish was kind of hokey. Because like out of nowhere, they Fatu. I don't even know if Fatu was a legal guy. It was just weird.
Well, and I was just gonna say, a lot of the match, it's like there's tag format, and then there's not, and then they're outside the ring, and they don't count, and then they do.
That's what I meant when I said that it kind of like broke down a couple times.
Yeah, it's just
like we just lost any semblance of rules.
Right, and it's just like, if that's the case, and that's gonna keep happening, like why should I care?
Yeah. So
I don't know, man. I wasn't super into it. We'll go back through for some artisms here. Again, probably the most famous of the how much does this guy weigh? Gorilla says 600 pounds plus. And Art just goes, whoa, like he doesn't know what to say. So that was just a classic. There you go. There's the one we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Art asks where the head shrinkers are from, and Savage just goes, American Samoa. It's just like, didn't you hear that when they fucking announced it 2 seconds ago, you son of a bitch? Yoko's doing more of his clown selling here. Like, oh, fuck. Like, I don't know why he keeps doing that shit. Art asks who the guy with the flag is, talking about Mr. Fuji. Again, no answer from commentary. They're just ignoring him again. Jesus. What else did we have here from Art? Well, Lex comes down. Art goes, who's the fellow with the American flag t-shirt? No answer. What else? I did like that Lex came out, though, I'll be honest with you. Even though he looked like something that fucking Mick Jagger's closet threw up on during an American tour, you know?
Well, there needed to be the continuation, I feel like, with Crush.
Yeah, I did like that. So I took it for what it was. But yeah, again, Art being a little bit quiet. We did get some more muted, like quieted down audio. So I think as the night progresses, it's going to get a little bit more aggressive for Art Donovan. I think they're really going to start putting a lid on him. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, yeah, I was kind of like half into this, half not sort of thing.
I didn't really mind it at all. Owen Hart says he will win the King of the Ring and declares that Bret Hart was a loser tonight. Kind of adding some salt to the wounds there for Bret Hart.
Yeah, he's also a little cocky bastard too, like spiteful, because he goes, I want to wish my dad a happy Father's Day. Like, here, fuck you, Dad. I'm going to fucking outshine Bret. Happy Father's Day, you dick.
Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It was really good.
Yeah.
I love that he did that.
Yeah. King of the Ring finals. So Razor Ramon taking on Owen Hart.
Pause your shit right there, Bob.
Okay.
Fucking put your remote down. Set it down. We're going into the weeds.
Okay.
What is this pay-per-view called?
King of the Ring.
The tournament that we've watched all night, what is it led up to?
The King of the Ring finals.
Okay. Why in the fuck is Jerry Lawler and Roddy Piper main eventing? What pay-per-view is this again, Bob?
The 1994 King of the Ring.
Yeah, why are they main eventing the fucking King of the Ring pay-per-view?
Well, I know. Here, you want the answer?
Yeah, because Piper probably asked for that.
No. Well, since his earnings are going to the children, you make more money in the main event. So that would probably make sense.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Oh.
How dare you give me a King of the Ring pay-per-view and not put the fucking finals in the main event? Are you fucking shitting me? How do you not use Piper and Lawler as the cool down to go into your main event?
Because all the heat is on Lawler Piper.
Absolutely fucking not.
Oh, all right.
Good Lord, what a mistake. I was so pissed that this was happening right now. Cool, because they were like talking about it, and Owen's backstage hyping it up. And I'm like, all right, cool. So they're not going to have the match right now. They just hyped it up. Oh no, they're having the fucking match right now.
Yeah.
I was so mad to know that we've worked all this way, fucking 2 hours plus, 2 hours plus, to see a main event between new generation stars, Roddy Piper and Jerry the fucking King Lawler. Pissed.
Yeah, man.
It's
a new era.
Shitting me.
It's a new era.
Oh my God, man. What a buzzkill. I was just like, I was blown away by that. And then you don't even have Bret or Diesel main event. That's the fucking world championship. We don't know. That's a fucking halfway point.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper and Jerry Lawler, the fight for the kids. is main eventing King of the Ring 1994. They can kiss my ass for that. What the fuck? No, man. Who in the boardroom didn't stand up and say, "Are you fucking high?" The whole point of the show is to get to the finals.
Right.
Once you know the King of the Ring, who gives a fuck about the rest?
Lawler and Piper's like an extra bonus match.
Oh, if that, dude. If that. Good Lord. I was like, okay. I see where this shit's going. Just wait till I get to that fucking main event. They want me to have it to be the main event? Oh, I'll treat it like the main event. You wait. You fucking wait.
You fucking wait.
Bastards.
Well, let's go to the semi-main event. It's the King of the Ring finals. Razor Ramon against Owen Hart. Owen slaps Razor early on to kind of send a message to him, and then Ramon comes back with a slam into an elbow drop for a 2 count. Ramon blocks a drop kick, and he catapults Owen into the corner. Roll up by Razor gets a 2, and he counters a backslide attempt into his own for another 2 count. Leg lariat by Owen, and he rakes Razor's face against the ropes. Abdominal stretch by Owen, and he uses the ropes for added leverage. Razor hip tosses out of the hold, and he catches Owen with a choke slam for a 2 count. Fall away slam by Razor gets a 2 count. Owen counters a suplex into a side rush and leg sweep. Owen goes up, but Razor crotches him and follows up. Back suplex by Razor, and he goes for the Razor's edge, but Owen backdrops him to the floor to block it. Jim Neidhart comes out, probably running away from Bret or something, and he clotheslines Razor. He sends Razor into the post and then back into the ring. Owen goes up, and he hits a flying elbow drop off the top rope to get the 3 count. Owen and Neidhart attack Razor after the match, and they're fucking thrilled. They are together. Owen Hart has won the 1994 King of the Ring tournament. Decent little match, really, kind of all things considered, between Razor and Owen. The pairing of Neidhart with Owen, I get it. I don't know if Owen needs it. And, I mean, if he were to need anything, maybe a mouthpiece. Certainly not Jim Neidhart, though, as a mouthpiece, because Neidhart is significantly worse at talking than Owen. Like, significantly worse. So maybe if Neidhart's just like the muscle, I mean, maybe it could work out, but I don't want the focus to get shifted away from Owen.
It's just a crutch he doesn't need.
Yeah, like Owen would be substantially stronger if it's just on his own, and they're kind of watering it down by having Neidhart associated with them. So,
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So even on commentary, after the fact here, they're like, well, I think Savage was like, you think Neidhart in that main event there against with Bret Diesel, you think he did that on purpose so that Owen can beat Bret? And it's like, Randy, you just summed up the entire angle.
Yeah, you just gave it away, Randy. Thanks.
you just told us like, the whole kind. Like, you're probably gonna say that for a promo, like tomorrow night or something. But he's just like, I think Neidhart and Owen are in cahoots about this, there, folks. And it's like, yeah, probably.
Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty solid. What'd you think about it?
Yeah, I would agree. For the King of the Ring finals, it was just kind of like, well, it was there.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely saw better King of the Ring matches tonight. There's no question about that. Going right back to the top here with some artisms. Art asks about the weight difference between the two, which, mind you, Savage says is only about 30 pounds. So, like, who gives a fuck? And you know what? That's all we got from Art this match. So he's gone from 5 in maybe the first couple of matches to 1 quit. So they have completely shut down Art Donovan. Solid little match. I'm over the moon that Owen Hart won. I think it's a funny pairing, him and Jim. I hope it's short term because
I really hope it is.
I'm not a Jim Neidhart fan, and honestly, I'm hoping that once we see the coronation, Owen's just going to kind of clothesline him off the stage and be like, thanks, fuck you.
That would be gold.
Yeah, because then you get even more heel heat, and it's like, oh, poor Jim.
Yeah, but then Jim can't be like, Bret, dude, I'm sorry.
No,
sorry for bailing on you. It's like, all right, Jim, well, we don't need you anymore. So
Yeah, now Jim gets outcast again. Like, okay, fuck you,
Right.
you're done.
Well,
That's all we needed,
you
Jim.
know what's even funnier with that scenario is that his independent booking rate would go fucking way down.
Oh my god.
Nobody would want to see him. They're like,
Yeah.
you fucked over Bret. Like, I don't want to have you at fucking this local show. Like,
Yeah.
no.
So, I mean, other than that, you know, I'm more excited for what's coming rather than right now. So yes, I'm excited for Owen to be our King of the Ring. This has got to be, I mean, look at where Bret went from King of the Ring 93.
Yeah.
So if that's any indication, fuck yeah to this. I'm going to really enjoy this time period of 1994. So yeah, again, the match wasn't anything outstanding. I think Razor really kind of lost steam as the night went on. I kind of, to be honest, felt like Razor Ramon was in every match tonight. Like I kind of got sick of seeing him a little bit, which kind of sucks because I do like Razor Ramon. But that's kind of where I was at with it. So again, we get the kind of the reveal that Anvil's been with Owen this whole time and this sort of thing. And Savage again kind of blows it on commentary. We did get like we want Bret chants big time when Owen and Anvil are hugging. We're getting the fireworks going off, which again is funny to me because it's like rubbing the salt in the wounds of the fans. Like not only did Owen win, here's the fireworks and get ready for the coronation ceremony, you sons of bitches. Like it's perfect. So I was super happy with it and ready to see what's going to unfold for Owen Hart because I have a feeling it's going to be quite a bit.
Well, someone who was not thrilled about what just happened was Bret Hart. And we go backstage where he is shocked by what just happened and, in fact, refuses to give an interview with Ray Rougeau. I mean, I kind of chuckled because Bret seemed like really emotional about it.
Yeah.
Bret's like, dude, it's okay.
And Ray's probably like, Bret, don't worry. It's all in the script. Bret's like, no, dude. Did you fucking see this?
This is real life, man.
I can't do this right now. I gotta go. It's like, okay, man.
It felt like it was like, watching Days of Our Lives or something.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it did.
No.
It did.
I can't believe it.
Pretty corny there, but back to the commentators table. This is kind of where Savage really unfolds like this conspiracy theory on the Owen Anvil thing.
Yeah.
Art derailed both guys because it was like, okay, wait a second. Art's going to say something important here. Like it's going to make sense. So he gets both Savage and Gorilla's attention. And he goes, now, when you guys wrestled, did you act like that in the ring? And I swear to God to you, they're both looking at Art Donovan. And then they both look away and continue the conversation. They completely ignore him. And Randy even kind of has his back to Art Donovan. Yeah. So he's closing off the conversation with just him and Gorilla. It was probably the funniest Artism of the night that he's like, wait a second, guys, wait a second. And they're like, okay, maybe he's going to say something like insightful. And then he completely blows it. And they're just like, anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, like so good.
Well, another funny moment here is that throughout the entire show, Art Donovan has been saying, my pick's Razor. Razor's going to win it. And towards the end of this match, maybe even like midway through, he goes, I don't think Razor's going to win. Completely jumps off the bandwagon. And I think even Gorilla's like, well, you can't say that, Art. Because they're trying to cover up the fact, like, well, shit, Razor's not going to win because, Anvil or whatever. Of course, Art doesn't know any of that shit. But Gorilla's like, oh, well, you can't say that because we don't know. But Art's like, I don't think Razor's going to win anymore.
It's so funny because for a damn fact that Vince told Art, hey, your guy's Razor. Tonight, your guy's Razor.
Yeah.
And Art is like so in the moment and like so clueless. He doesn't give a fuck who his guy is supposed to be.
But
He's
you know what?
Gonna say whoever.
Now I know he like said it before any entrances and anything like that. But Razor is really the first wrestler that he sees.
Yes.
So right. I wonder if it's more like it's the first guy I saw. Razor. I'm going Razor Ramon.
Right.
Still doing it. Going for it.
Right.
Because I think even when Razor comes out, he's still like, who's this guy?
He is.
He doesn't know who Razor Ramon is.
He doesn't know.
I'm surprised he didn't go, hey, Gorilla, how come this guy got flames on his head? for Bigelow. Like, what the hell's going on with that guy? He's mad, ain't he? Why is he so heated?
He's mad, ain't he?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Like
Yeah, it's
more opportunities.
it's so funny because a guy like that you really need to give pretty strict direction to.
Oh yeah.
And you can tell he had no direction. He was cutting people off. His little one-liners that he was trying to get in were wicked mistimed.
Yeah.
Just completely derailing the commentary left and right throughout the show. So it's just it's a fucking gem. It's a gem. Good Lord.
And we're not done yet.
Oh no.
Still got one match to go. But before we get to the main event, the real main event, Owen Hart gets his coronation as the king of the ring, and Neidhart dresses Owen in the king's outfit. Owen brags that he did what he said he was going to do, and he wants respect as king. And of course, he declares himself the King of Hearts. That's how the new nickname is born.
Fucking
King of
perfect.
Hearts.
Yeah.
I dig it. I think it's great.
Just to break this down a little bit more, I know Bob's going to be like, oh, what the fuck? And he'll probably get on his phone. First of all, you could tell Owen Hart was fucking loving this. He was loving every single minute of this. You could see it on his face. He doesn't want Jack Tunney to crown him, which I think is hilarious. He wants the only person in his family he could trust, Jim Neidhart, to put the crown on him. He's screaming at Todd to get down on his knees and salute his king. Anvil's putting everything on piece by piece, slow as fuck. So he's just reveling in the moment.
Yeah.
And even when Owen sits down on the throne with like his shit-eating grin on his face, it's so good. He finally gets the crown on. You know, he says his first proclamation is again, he wants to be referred to as the King of Hearts. He raises the golden scepter and they walk to the back. So I'm hoping that Owen Hart rubs this in for the next 8 months. I just want him to rub it in.
He could do it for the next whole year.
Yeah. Rub it into WrestleMania, please.
At
Just
least.
do that. Yeah. So, yeah, I was super into it. It's so funny to just – it's so cool because Owen's one of them guys, which is one of the reasons he's one of my favorites of all time. He's so easy to read when he's really having a good time. Like you can tell he loves his job and what he's getting to do. It's all over his face. It's so funny. And it's just like you want to punch him. Like, dude, fuck you for loving this so much. Because he just essentially gave his dad a middle finger on Father's Day. He gave his brother a middle finger. And is like, fuck you guys. I'm the king of the ring. I've been telling you this whole time. It's like, God damn it. He's right. He has been telling us this whole time.
That's what makes it even better.
It's so good.
That's how you get great heel heat is when you're
So
just like,
good.
oh, fuck, he's right. He told us. He said everything he was going to do it. He did.
Exactly.
Yeah. We get a video package kind of highlighting the Lawler Piper situation leading into our main event for the King of the Ring pay-per-view. It's Jerry Lawler taking on Roddy Piper. Lawler cuts a pre-match promo and is pretty much saying that he's going to make sure that Piper doesn't win and he doesn't give his earnings to some sick kids in Canada. Piper, during his entrance, brings out the scrawny kid that Lawler kind of forced to impersonate him on Raw and like beat up a little bit and all that stuff. Piper attacks to start and he bites the head of Lawler. Piper tosses Lawler across the ring and then Lawler bails to the floor. Piper follows and he lets the kid poke Lawler in the eye. Back in, Piper throws some jabs at Lawler and he hammers away on him. Atomic drop by Piper knocks Lawler all the way to the floor. Piper works Lawler over on the floor and slams Lawler's head off the post. Lawler goes after the kid, but Piper stops him. He drags the kid into the corner and stomps away on Piper, who is shielding the kid from Lawler's assault. Jabs by Lawler, and he chokes on Piper. Sleeper by Lawler, but Piper goes into the ropes to force a break. Pile driver by Lawler gets a 2 count. Some more jabs by Lawler, and Piper fights back. Bulldog by Piper, and he connects with a second one. He goes for a third, but Lawler blocks, sending Piper crashing into the referee. Lawler nails Piper with a foreign object, and he covers for 2 as the kid knocks Lawler's feet off the ropes. he was using for assistance. Back suplex by Piper, and he rolls Lawler up for a 3 count. So
you just got out of that as quick as you fucking could.
Abso-fucking-lutely. This is by far the least interesting match, let alone main event, that I have stumbled upon thus far. Without a shadow of a doubt. They used the kid as a way to kind of get through it. Piper shielding him from the assault felt so forced and like unnecessary because the heat isn't on the kid. You're shielding him from the assault, but there's nothing. The kid
he literally doesn't matter.
The kid, I felt like on Raw, was like a willing participant.
Yes.
In making fun of Piper.
Yes.
And now we've twisted it to where he was like forced into doing it. And now he's
there was no inkling of that. There was no inkling of that.
It was never interpreted as such.
Never.
So that threw me for a loop because it felt like Lawler and the kid were in on it together when it happened.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh no, hey, I'm Go Piper. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Piper doing like bulldogs and shit. Like, it just didn't look great. This goes like 12 minutes. This is a match where to me, it felt like it went like 35. And the thing that really kind of blows my mind about this is that Lawler doesn't look great here, like at all.
No.
And the partnership between like the USWA and WWF, like USWA is like kind of stagnant in terms of like attendance and stuff. I would have to think that some USWA fans are watching this shit.
Sure, maybe, yeah, sure.
And Lawler being
the
guy for USWA, doing stupid shit like this and losing to Piper on a fucking back suplex. A back suplex. Okay. It literally, there was no flow to lead into the back suplex for the win.
No.
It just happened.
Yep.
And then he won.
Yep.
So you're looking at, a USWA main event. Let's say it's like, come out to the Coliseum this Monday. It's Jerry Lawler against Eddie Gilbert in a Texas death match. If I'm a fan, I'm like, this guy motherfucker just lost to Piper on a back suplex. Why the hell do I think he's going to have any chance in hell against Eddie Gilbert in a Texas death match? I would have to think that kills, or at least substantially hurts, some of the draw for Lawler in the USWA. And yet he's doing stupid shit like this. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, there's maybe in this era, obviously the internet and all this stuff isn't big and readily available. So maybe a lot of people in Tennessee don't even have pay-per-view. Maybe they don't have satellites. Maybe they can't order King of the Ring. Maybe they don't have a VHS player or a VCR to play King of the Ring when it comes out on Coliseum Video. So maybe they're just completely oblivious to what the King is doing on television for the WWF, which is a national entity, and people all over the world can see it. I fucking hated this so much. So much. And that the next night on Raw, who's going to be on Raw tomorrow night? Or in 2 weeks, or in 3 weeks, or a month from now? Sure as hell ain't going to be Roddy Piper. It's going to be Jerry Lawler in the King's Court. And then us as fucking viewers of it, we're going to look at it and be like, well, this guy can't win a match ever. He just lost to Piper, who hadn't wrestled in close to 3 years since WrestleMania 8. So we're going on at least over 2. Like, what is the value in this? Any feud that Lawler's in after this? Like, what are we doing? I hated it. For the kids in Canada. For the kids. Yeah, great.
Vince will go to any length for good PR at this point.
Well, that's what this is.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
This is literally a cry of, hey, we're not so bad. Look at what we do.
Yeah. And you want to know what's even funnier about that back fucking suplex? Okay. They did a dramatic slow count.
Oh my
It was
God.
like 1,
Fuck off.
2, 3. Oh my God, Piper dead. And Lawler's just laying there like, dude, can you just count 3, man? Like, he literally hasn't done anything leading up to this, and I have to lay here for an additional 6 seconds because Earl Hebner is going to take forever to make a 3 count. Unbelievable. And then the celebration afterwards, he puts the kid on his shoulder, fireworks are going off. I'm like, what the fuck? What are we doing? You would have thought these guys were feuding for 3 years. Lawler like ran over some kids with his car or something, and he's like, fuck you kids, I'm not paying for your surgery or whatever. No, a makeshift feud, and it's like, oh my God, Roddy Piper's a fucking hero. All those kids in Canada, they're gonna live. Thanks, Piper. I would have had Lawler win, gone to the camera and say, hey kids, guess what? You're screwed. Like, what? Come on. I hated this. I'm so mad. I was so happy with like Diesel Bret. Then we got to this part, and I'm like, oh, now I'm mad.
You know what this was? And you know how I am with my metaphors. You know what this was? This was you've been partying like an animal all night. Sure, you've cracked a few bad jokes that people didn't laugh at. Sure. But for the most part, you've been the life of the party. And you're dancing around, you're a little tipsy, but you're having a fucking great time. And then you're dancing around and like you stumble into the end table with dad's ashes on them. And then the urn breaks and falls over. And then the whole music stopped, the record, and everybody's like, get the fuck out. Like, my dad's ashes are on the carpet now. And you broke his urn. That's what this was.
Yeah.
This was, hey, this pay-per-view's been pretty fucking solid. So let's kill it with the last match. Like, are you fucking kidding me, man? First of all, Lawler or Piper barely get a reaction. There's no interest in this match at all. The crowd is dead the whole time. Again, I have a soft spot for Piper when he's coming out, the bagpipe people are out, his fucking music hits. Piper's in awesome shape. He looks really good for his age. So like, I'm with it all the way up until the bell rings. And then I'm out. If Piper can just come out, do his entrance, look cool, and like mock Jerry Lawler, like make fun of him and then leave, cool. Sign me up. But then they have to have a match. And half of it's like a boxing match. They're like punching each other the whole time.
Yeah, it's mostly like jabs and shit. Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like a weird match.
I would have expected more of like a brawl. You know what I mean? Like just a rugged, because like, you're trying to make fun of my kids or whatever, and they're just like doing
bending the rules, like doing what they gotta do.
Yeah, the presentation was just off.
Oh my God, dude. And the fact that the kid was like a staple of the match.
Yeah.
Just killed it so bad for me.
And there was a couple times where, in the corner, the kid was on the mat and they veered away, and the kid didn't know. Like, you could visually see him being like, does he roll in?
Right.
And I think Hebner goes like, all right, kid, you can go to the floor.
Yes. Yeah. He like has to tell him.
He was like, you sit in the corner, And he goes to sit in the corner. Like, so much of this was like a train wreck.
Right.
It should just not have happened, and it did.
Right. Yeah, dude. It's just, I don't even know where to start with this shit. First of all, Art Donovan, we can start here. Perfect. Says that Lawler should have been a preacher, which I thought was interesting because he might be onto something there. Because he definitely does like little children. So there's definitely
exactly what Donovan was mentioning.
Yeah. So there's definitely an opportunity there. The fact that Piper is so willing to defend this kid who basically mocked him on national television doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. I just don't get the dynamic. So Piper's grabbing the mic, he's testing it, and I'm thinking, okay, here we go. They're going to talk for the first 5 minutes. He says, oh, we've come here to kick ass, chew bubble gum. Kid says we're all out of gum. Piper hands the mic to the kid to do more of his imitation, which I'm like, oh, okay, why? And then we get into it. So again,
it's like Piper was trusting the kid to be more like him than him.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Just confusing. All basics, atomic drops, punches, clothesline, just nothing going on. Nothing happening. I did like at one point that Lawler's like chasing after the fucking Piper imitator, and Piper's like chasing after King, so they're all three running. And then I think Lawler catches up with the kid probably when he wasn't supposed to. So Piper and Lawler just trample over him and like they all fall over.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, like that wasn't supposed to happen. But he's letting the kid get in punches on Lawler. And again, Roddy's taking the spotlight away from himself and putting it all on this random kid who we're never going to see again.
Yeah.
We will never see this guy again. And that's what we're getting here. I was checking my phone during this match. Like I really was not paying attention. Lawler hits a pile driver at one point on Piper, and like Piper kicks out, and what should have been like a really dramatic moment, but the crowd does not give a fuck. And it was like towards the end of the match.
It's not like the crowd though in the WWF have been programmed that the pile driver for Lawler is a huge move anyway though.
Or like a finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, dude. And then the pyro, he puts the kid up on his shoulders. The back suplex is the finish, and it's like the long, drawn out 3 count. I hate to say it, especially with Piper in this match, and even Lawler for that point. But shit like this is why people just judge wrestling in a bottle and just go, oh, that shit's fake.
Yeah.
Like that's what jumped to my mind immediately. Between, like I said, the long drawn out 3 count, picking the kid up, the pyro, the fucking no story. Like it's no wonder why there's quite a significant amount of the population on the earth who writes wrestling off as just fake bullshit. Because shit like this, man, matches like this, finishes like this, just fuck.
It was kind of
because that could have been a good match. Piper and Lawler could have had a decent brawling match. And that's just not what it was.
No.
Just not what it was.
They went too many distractions and shenanigans about it.
Ugh.
But it was also kind of weird because the kid's easily like in his early 20s.
Yeah.
And he's putting him on his shoulders, and the kid has to like put his legs around Piper's waist to make sure he doesn't fall off. And it was just,
weird.
If he had maybe put a couple of kids from the hospital that are deathly ill or something, and I guess maybe, but the whole angle doesn't even have that type of emotion to justify that type of involvement anyway. So it's just kind of, I don't know, just weird, just really poorly done. Before the show concludes completely, Shawn Michaels is backstage with Diesel. They're kind of having a chit chat. Camera comes up to him, and Shawn Michaels is like, "Don't worry, Big Daddy Cole. We're gonna get the WWF champ. You're gonna be champion as long as I'm in your corner. You're gonna be champion." All these things. Diesel's kind of soaking it in, agreeing with him. He sees the camera and he's like, "Get out of here! Why are you coming into our whole conversation? Get out of here! Scram! Go! Get out of here!" So they're already teasing, that Diesel's probably going to be the WWF World Champion sooner rather than later. And I didn't mind this type of segment at all, because you're kind of telling the audience like, Bret, watch your fucking back, because Diesel's still going to come for you.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I feel like this put the spotlight back on Diesel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is what we needed.
I like that Shawn was like, as long as I'm in your corner.
Yes.
Because it's making him look like the upper echelon guy. And
Yes, exactly my point. So I agree with you. I think this was a weird throw in at the end. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that was in there because it does make you interested in, okay, what's the next chapter? Where are we going from here? Because obviously, there's definitely unfinished business here between Diesel and Bret. Owen Hart just won the King of the Ring. So Bret is in his fucking scopes. So automatically coming out of the King of the Ring, you got some interesting shit going on with your world title picture. Really interesting shit. 2 very different dynamics and possibilities. So I'm cool with that, and I'm glad that they threw that in there.
Yeah. I think that was a finish for the Coliseum video
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, you could
Most
tell.
likely.
Yeah, you could tell.
Overall, for King of the Ring 1994, I'm going to say that this was better than 93.
Yes.
Overall, really good pay-per-view. I mean, Piper and Lawler obviously fucking sucked. And then Razor and like IRS, that semifinal blew. But yeah. Iris Mabel was kind of a train wreck, but a better train wreck than we kind of anticipated.
Yes.
But the first round of the King of the Ring, the quarterfinals, pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Bret Razor is something I would suggest go out of your way to see.
Match of the night.
For sure. I mean, Kevin Nash is arguably seen as a guy that doesn't do a whole lot of anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of just milked his way through his career, especially WCW related. But when he's working with a guy like Bret, in this type of situation, before he makes big money and just kind of coasts, he puts on a pretty good showing with Bret.
You can tell he's working for it.
Absolutely. He wanted to get to that level that Bret was at.
Yes.
So I'm going to give this a thumbs up, a recommendation to check it out. Maybe if you survive the main event, I don't know. But I'm going to say that, I enjoyed it. I mean, I would say Rumble 94, Mania 10, and King of the Ring 94 is not a bad trifecta of pay-per-views.
Absolutely.
It's a pretty strong start for 94.
And it blows my mind because really going into the King of the Ring, I mean, who gives a shit? They don't really make it feel that important.
Right.
Yeah, they build it up, but really it's like, it's like a secondary pay-per-view.
100%.
So,
this is similar to 93. This is kind of your building blocks for what we're going to do in the summer.
Yes.
But this was effectively told, and like I dug it. I really enjoyed it.
Yes. So they did. They pulled a rabbit out of the hat for tonight. And I was so glad that they did. I was so glad. Better than I remembered from the last time I watched it. Again, I think context is huge going back and watching these old shows. It really, really does make a difference. 100%. I would say, for the most part, Owen and Kid fucking tore it up. I remember them tearing it up, and I loved it just as much watching it back. Again, as we've said multiple times, Diesel and Bret had, in my opinion, the match of the night. And I was even okay with like the anvil angle throughout the night. I didn't get sick of seeing and watching that unfold. Art definitely seemed more muted than I remember, which we covered at the top of the show. I do feel like he was like more intolerable before. Like I just was so fed up by the end of the show. But you could definitely tell gradually as the show continued, he got the hint. Because we even cut back, which we kind of skipped over, but they even cut back to commentary. And at that point, they angled the camera so that Art wasn't even on camera. Like they just showed Gorilla and Savage. Art wasn't even there.
Yeah.
So, the capper though, and the kicker, Piper and Lawler under no circumstances should have closed this show. And that really, really bummed me out. The fact that they weren't on the first hour blows my mind. I definitely think it should have been Owen and Razor. I think they could have even used a little bit more time for their match. But it was a really, really solid pay-per-view. I was pleasantly surprised.
The only thing I can think of for placement of the matches is that they probably didn't want to end the show with a heel on top.
And I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that because even if you
with Bret and Diesel.
Right. I was just going to say.
Yeah. Bret's not winning.
Right.
He in fact loses technically by disqualification.
Right.
So,
which is fair. I get it, but still, come on.
It's just, I would have sacrificed and just been like, Owen can go over.
Yes.
Close out the show.
Yes.
Tune in tomorrow night to see what happens.
Right. Right.
All right. So safe to say we are both going to sit here and tell you, check it out, enjoy it, maybe have a laugh with the bad shit, but that's very few and far between. So.
Yes. Yep.
But let's get into some feedback from various listeners. I'll start off with some guys from Russell Figs, a forum that I've been a part of for almost a fucking decade, which is a disgusting thing to know, but it's true. A guy by the name of I'm a Jim Cornette guy.
Oh,
It's good handle there. The show was okay, not as good as 93. I wish 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Owen Hart was longer. I wish Piper versus Lawler was good. I think we all would hope that. Bret Hart versus Diesel should have been the main event, but I guess since there wasn't going to be a clear winner, they didn't want to end on that note. I guess they wanted the returning Piper winning to end the show. Like everyone else, I thought Art Donovan sucked.
Well, it's funny too, because really, if you did Diesel Bret on top, and Bret kind of does get that moment at the end where he holds up the belt, chair. So you could have easily ended the show with that.
Yeah, you could have.
Easily.
In the way, and with with like an Anvil. Well, I guess with the way with Anvil, you would have to do it the way you did it, though. Because if you close it with that and Owen wins the King of the Ring, you don't have that tie-in.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
for a story's sake, you probably have to do it the way that you did.
That's true. All right. Well,
I keep on forgetting that part.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, there you go. Like he said, you want the people to tune in next week. Fuck, leave them with Owen winning the King of the Ring. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, but I think he's on the right tracks there as far as kind of what we had down too. So
yeah. MK Savage says Bret versus Diesel was really good, but I think the reason they had this in the middle of the event and not the main event was because of Anvil turning heel by helping Owen win the tournament. If this was on last, Anvil would have already helped Owen win, and it wouldn't have made sense for him to be in Bret's corner. I know I literally just said that, but I had not read any of this. So that's just kind of ironic. That's exactly what he said.
Well, and it's a good point too, because you kind of, like you said, it just chronologically, you're kind of handcuffed to that.
Yeah.
So
I can appreciate the continuation in this story arc.
Yes. I'm glad that they went with that in hindsight, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man, fucking Piper and Lawler at the end. Good God.
Yeah. Cat Like Thief says, my thoughts boil down to how much does this guy weigh and who's the fellow with the American flag? But really, it's an event I like. Neidhart's return was awesome. Diesel and Bret had a good match. Razor had a great showing. I love Owen getting his dues, and there was some good performances by Kid and Tatanka here too. Pretty much all that aside from Neidhart's return. I was not a big fan of that.
Yeah, no, and it's so funny too because there's so many standout performances. I feel like the last couple of pay-per-views, it's like you kind of get one, and then the rest are like lukewarm.
Right.
Tonight, I feel like everybody was kind of firing on all cylinders. Like, let's go out and put on a fucking show. And that's what they did.
That's actually a pretty good. Yeah, that's the vibe. We're putting our working boots on tonight.
Yes.
The Evil Doink 1987 says that Owen Kidd should have gone another 2 hours. That match was so good despite being so brief. It was one of the few times where Owen was able to work as an aggressive heel against a smaller opponent, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Given even 20 minutes, those two had match of the year potential, similar to the bout Bret would have with Kidd later on. Art Donovan aside, it was a decent show that I feel is overlooked since the inaugural King of the Ring in 93 was groundbreaking and well received, thanks to Bret Hart being amazing. While later on, the pay-per-view was kind of known as being the worst in company history. Of course, we're a little ways away from experiencing that, but don't worry, we'll probably get there.
Yeah, really quick too to just touch on that. I think for the most part, I don't know if it's a fair comparison, 93 and 94. It's just the company has changed so drastically even since, with people in the company, who they're pushing, who's moving forward, who's moving backward. It's so funny to see how far we've come since last year's King of the Ring and how much has happened and how many people have debuted and left. And it's just such a tumultuous time that I think it's hard to compare, but I do agree with him that as we get later in the years, it's going to be a rough show, folks.
Well, so the thing is, though, with 93, a lot of people remember Bret's trifecta.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, the whole tournament's not that great.
It's not that great. Yeah. No.
94 as an all-around product.
You got some gems in there, man.
Yeah.
And I'd hate to say it, but I kind of disagree with Owen and 1, 2, 3 Kid getting like longer like a 20-minute match. I think the fact that it was 4 minutes and you couldn't catch your breath fucking added to it and then some. You know, so I think that was perfect.
You know what? You know what's funny too? I'm just thinking about this now. So Bret had some decent to good matches or really good matches, whichever, with Razor, Perfect, and Bigelow in 93. Owen he got the best match out of Tatanka that he could possibly get out of.
Right.
Has a 4-minute killer of a match with Kid.
Right.
And then he has a pretty good, like a solid match with Razor Ramon. I would probably say Bret's run is better in terms of quality and in-ring stuff, but like Owen kind of, I mean, that's
just
not
as good. Yeah,
it's not bad.
Well, because Bret is more based on storytelling because he's like hurt the whole time. It's like, oh, his legs, like, oh, his back. He's not going to be able to continue his knee. Owen is more match quality.
Right.
Like, holy shit, that was a pretty good match. And holy shit, that was a really good match. You know what I mean? So I think in that sense, you got to go Bret story, Owen match. You know, just storytelling wise versus straight up match skill, like moveset skill. So I think that's actually a pretty good point. Yeah.
KS says, yeah, Piper fighting for the kids of Toronto is a bit too much, especially when he's crawling all over the kid, defending him from boots.
Yeah.
This was the first sign of Roddy not realizing his glory days were behind him, or at least being in denial. I think that's incredibly accurate, and that would go on for the next 5 years.
Yeah, and it's sad but true. Again, I have a soft spot for Piper, but most of the times, especially once you hit right now, really, going forward, anytime that bell rings, man, yeah, hit the fast forward button.
Yeah,
because you ain't getting nothing.
Val Venus 69 says, my favorite part was cut out when it was released on Coliseum Home Video. The mayor they interviewed at the beginning says his favorite wrestler is Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
that's pretty funny.
Imagine if they did air that. Fuck.
That is just so.
That's awesome. That's called irony, folks.
100%. HBK Big Daddy Cool says, I remember watching this and thinking, how can Tatanka versus IRS not be the finals because of the feud they were having? And I figured they would have it in the finals of the pay-per-view. I kind of thought the same thing originally. But having Owen win was pretty damn cool. Looking at the show now that I'm older, it makes perfect sense for Owen to get the win. Diesel versus Bret was pretty damn entertaining. But then again, each time those two face off, it was entertaining. The irony of the show was WWE dissing Hogan, Putski, Andre, and Sheik, saying how
it was Ivan Putski.
Yep. Saying how they are all old and having Roddy Piper main event the show with Jerry Lawler. That match was horrible. It was kind of a letdown. The tag title match was fun.
Well, it's funny too because, not to make another kind of weird comparison, but when you think of a WCW pay-per-view, you think of like really good undercard matches, and then the main event's Roddy Piper versus Hulk Hogan.
It's basically like WCW mid-90s.
Yeah, and it's like 98. So that's kind of what we got here, man. We got a pretty strong undercard, and then the main event is just like a fucking dud.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's funny that everybody's kind of on the same page as far as that goes. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, dude, love the main event. Old school fans rejoice. Like, it's fucking really good. I'm waiting.
Okay, well, here you are. Classic Fan 2 says, was a good show. Nothing close to 93, though, which was the best. Wasn't too impressed with the lineup for the tourney. More mid-cardish guys than the past year. Wasn't a big Owen fan, so didn't like that he won. Was hoping for Jarrett, Razor, or Bigelow. Wanted to see he's like me. Wanted to see Bigelow versus Mabel. Maybe this is me that left this comment.
Probably.
Here it comes. Loved the Piper Lawler match and glad it was last as I'm old school. Tag title match was cool. Wish Crush Yoko would have won. He also liked that Neidhart came back as well. And now he also produced a 1994 King of the Ring rebooking. So let me just read this off for you. Bro.
Okay. Interesting.
So in the quarterfinals, mind you, it's not from the same lineup. He's actually incorporated different people into what he feels like should have happened.
Weird.
So quarterfinals would have saw Lex Luger defeat Owen Hart, Bam Bam Bigelow defeating Mabel, Adam Bomb defeating Tatanka, Razor Ramon defeating the 1-2-3 Kid. Crush and Yokozuna would have defeated the Headshrinkers for the tag team titles. The semifinals of the King of the Ring would see Lex Luger defeating Bam Bam Bigelow, Razor Ramon defeating Adam Bomb. Roddy Piper would still beat Jerry Lawler. Diesel and Shawn Michaels would defeat Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart. And in the finals, Lex Luger would defeat Razor Ramon to become King of the Ring.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you can do it with Lex, man.
No, I feel like this is Owen's time. He certainly can't lose in the quarterfinals to Lex.
Yeah, I don't think at this point Lex is a mid-card guy.
100%.
He's a mid-card guy. I think if anything, if you're going to rebook it, you got to have Razor win.
Yeah.
If you're going to rebook it, you got to have Razor win. Unless you're going to go completely different direction and have all the guys be different guys or something. Like, I don't know.
Well, the one that really blew my mind for this rebooking is Adam Bomb.
I wish.
I mean,
fucking wish.
If this was in January of 94, I could see it. But considering what this guy's gone through for the last 5 months to beat Tatanka.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, holy hell.
You can't.
Yeah.
And that's even saying because Tatanka's been knocked down a couple pegs himself. Sure. But you can't do that.
Adam Bomb is like, the dirt is probably up to his waist at this point.
I know.
He's almost gone.
That'd be super interesting though, because then you're into another face versus face kind of dilemma, like you were at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and I kind of like Diesel and Shawn against Bret and
I do too.
I like that incorporation.
Wow. So, okay. All right.
Yeah, not a bad rebooking. Not a bad rebooking.
Although
I've done a lot of worse rebookings than that.
Yeah. Well, he loses major points though, because he said that Piper and Lawler was his favorite fucking match.
Right.
That shit's null and void, dude.
Yeah, that's
no fucking way.
Yeah, that's credibility might be lost on that one.
Yeah.
Going over to the freaking awesome wrestling network, where I post these episodes over there, and people have been following us there, so I appreciate you guys listening. Smash TV, who is a guy that has listened to us. I think he's listened to like 4 episodes in one day before. So God bless you.
Shit.
I've been looking forward to this. I remember very little about the matches other than Owen winning, Neidhart turning heel, and Piper's celebration with the gawky teenager. Art Donovan, however, has remained burnt into my memory. How much does this guy weigh? Who this guy here? Is that a loud gorilla? I can't remember which match, but at one point you can audibly hear either Savage or Monsoon sigh in exasperation at another Art Donovan question. Savage, in fairness, actually tries to help out by answering some of the questions, but Monsoon gave up about 3 matches in.
Yes.
Who would you blame though? Art Donovan for not doing his research, Savage and Monsoon for eventually leaving him for dead, or WWF officials for not briefing him beforehand? His U-turn on Razor Ramon winning the tournament, who he said at the start, and then losing in the final match makes me think that officials should have never briefed him a lot more or called time on him on the headset a few matches in.
Yeah.
He would have fucking spoiled a bunch of shit. There's no doubt about that. He also said that he's looking forward to our feedback on the show, especially yours, Austin.
Oh.
Hopefully, we lived up to the hype on that one.
Yeah, I'd say. I got to tell you, man, I think it would have been best for Art Donovan to maybe either commentate the qualifying or the quarterfinal matches, and then say, all right, Art, you're a busy man. Thanks for being with us tonight. And like, send him off. There is no reason why he needed to be the third man in the booth tonight for the whole fucking show.
Just completely unnecessary.
Thank God they didn't brief him more, because I think that would have been a huge mistake.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you could have briefed him.
How's Yokozuna not going to win this match, Gorilla? This guy's huge compared to the other guys.
So when does that bad guy Owen Hart win tonight? Because don't you guys remember? You read it on the sheet. His friend comes in and does the clothesline thing.
Yeah. How's Mabel going to get on that middle rope and fall off and not collapse the entire arena, and they have the business guy over there pin him 1, 2, 3? What's going on?
It's like the opening pitch, and he's saying all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
man.
Right on commentary, like, you know what, Gorilla? I can't believe Owen Hart's going to win the King of the Ring.
Yeah, how's that going to happen tonight?
Gorilla just looking at me. You just spoiled a 3-hour pay-per-view.
You bastard.
You son of a bitch.
I don't think you can blame Savage and Gorilla at all, though. I think they did the best with what they could, and bless poor Randy Savage for really trying to help Art along, because he did.
Yeah, but even at some point, he was like, fuck this.
No, he did. Well, yeah, because then, like I said, he was seen at the commentary table with his fucking back to him. So, I don't know, man. I think it's funny that out of everything on this show, it's Art Donovan that's remembered.
100%.
Out of everything.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame, because there's a lot of hidden stuff on here that's pretty fucking good.
That's probably why it's all forgotten, because all the focus is on Donovan.
Yeah, but you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, if Art is a reason to draw people in to see how ridiculous it is, they're staying for some of the wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Chrono Cross points out that Bruce Pritchard recently talked about this on his podcast, Something to Wrestle With. And he said that they wanted Art Donovan because he played football in Baltimore and he would be a good fit for the live crowd. I don't know how that's a good fit for the live crowd. The live crowd's not listening to him commentate.
I was just going to say, how ass backwards is that?
That doesn't make any sense.
What the fuck? I don't know, man. Like I said, I think he should have been either a one-off for one of the matches, just do the quarterfinals, something like that. Just the whole show, no. Announce him, show him off, let him do commentary for a little bit, announce him, and have him leave. That's it.
Here's a substantially long one from Gindi Has Evil Intent of Honor. So bear with me here. There's about 3 paragraphs. Considering Art Donovan is such an easy target, let's be remiss and explore the main event of the 1994 King of the Ring, shall we? The new generation was made primarily as a buzzword by Vince to tell people that the days of Hulkamania and Rock and Roll Wrestling Connection were trite and outdated, and that we are now pushing youngings. Damn it! So how do you build up your pay-per-view event in the midst of all this, where Bret Hart is once again your champion? You have a jealous and vindictive Owen Hart wanting to make his life a living hell, and down in the mid-card, they were grooming Shawn Michaels for the future. And then he has a lot of stuff here in parentheses. Okay, by focusing the event around Jerry Lawler and Roddy Piper feud. I mentioned this quite a bit on my take on this when John Pollock and Y Ting did their old review of Y on the event. But it does bear repeating. The way the whole match was built was illogical. Piper didn't want to fly anywhere other than King of the Ring. So all of his segments were filmed in his ranch in Oregon and what looked like a budget camcorder.
Yes.
That's very accurate. Meanwhile, Lawler did his usual stuff, insulting Piper's filmography and bringing out some beanpole dressed like Piper that was never identified besides that kid or that parody, complete with the segment being around Lawler having said, fella Glenn had his insults and worship him, which is typically a heel act where the heel brings out a parody version of his opponent that willingly takes the abuse. That's exactly what we were talking about. This is made even weirder considering this person comes out with Roddy Piper for no rhyme or reason, as there was no segment or mention explaining why he would
explanation.
No mention explaining why he would do so, as we know Piper did not do any live segments on Raw. So yeah, we're not losing our mind on that then. Then the match, Piper was both immobile in his usual no-selling self, while Lawler was his only knows to move self. And by then, the real star of the show, Art Donovan, was told to pipe down once and for all, meaning we were denied any gems about how much did Jerry Lawler weigh or why are people cheering for Piper, since Art Donovan probably once saw, I don't know, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, to which Art would probably call it the Mario Marios. It's also weirder that Piper won, not because he was a babyface, since the WWF was a babyface territory, and you got to send the fans home happy, but considering that this was Piper's last involvement with the company until January of 1996, while Lawler would go back to commentary shortly after, which conventional logic would dictate you'd have the guy sticking around get the nod. Then again, Roddy Piper rarely lost for most of his career and wouldn't start doing clean jobs until WCW. As for a non-weight comment by Art, I do like how Art was all for Razor Ramon that night, and then come the finals, he suddenly goes, I think Razor's going to lose. only for Gorilla to snap as if Art was spoiling the finish. I made a lot of good points and stuff that we've noted already.
Yeah, he's covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
I think we agree with the majority of that, honestly. And after the last, however long this has been, 2 hours, I think he's been able to wrap it up in 3 paragraphs. So maybe we should just give him the mic. He just accomplished all that in about 6 minutes.
Yeah, well, I thought like we had missed something about the kid like suddenly being with Piper, but turns out we didn't miss anything. It came out of nowhere.
It's so funny because Piper comes out and it's like, oh, okay, cool, Roddy Piper. And then the fucking kid comes out with him and they like hug each other and walk down the ramp together.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want this. I thought we were done with the hokey shit. Piper says, listen, the time for fucking talk is over. I'm fighting you tonight and beating your ass. And then he does that shit. Like, okay, Piper. Like, what the fuck, man? I feel like Piper has stolen money out of my pocket. What the fuck, man? Don't bring that little asshole out here. Just beat Jerry Lawler's ass. Put him through the commentary table. Peel up the mats and pile drive him on the fucking concrete.
I do something to justify the grudge match.
For the kids, man. For the kids.
Right, exactly.
It didn't need to be literal. Like, literally for the kid. Like, it didn't. Right. We knew. We fucking understood.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now I'm just going to go on our Facebook page. There's a few more comments here, and then we'll wrap it up. Mike Campbell says that an article in the WWF magazine about Anvil joining Owen, specifically that Anvil was trying to get Owen to see how Bret really is way back when they were in the New Foundation. So I guess this was going on for a couple of years because back that Owen and Anvil were teaming up in like 92.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's a nice little drawback. Sure.
Yeah, it's a nice little tie-in.
Yeah.
My good buddy Walt Howard, all he had to say was, "Hey, what does this guy weigh?"
Is this another one of them wrestlers?
Yeah, who's this guy? Ian Matthews says that he's with a fellow commenter here. Art Donovan is the first thing I think of when this show is mentioned. Mm-hmm. Considering he only made one appearance, he certainly made an impact. He also points out that the main event of Jerry Lawler and Roddy Piper represents the new generation. How exactly?
Oh my gosh. It's such a backhanded, like, oh, fuck the old guys, but get ready for the old guys tonight.
Yeah. A weird placement for that.
So bad.
For that ad.
So bad. Yeah, man. There's just no defending that.
Yeah, there's none. Mick Price says he looks like a businessman. That's, of course, reference to IRS. Is that one of the wrestlers? That's a reference to Oscar.
Yeah.
So that's what he remembers. Michael Turner, the final comment here, says Art Donovan, period. End of discussion. So, I mean, like we've mentioned, there's some pretty decent, solid wrestling on here. And unfortunately, it's all overshadowed by Art Donovan and his absolute nonsense.
It's so infamous. Like his commentary is infamous. And it's so funny because I can't even say that I'm not the same way. When I think of fucking King of the Ring, 1994, I've even talked about it with people who aren't wrestling fans. And like, oh my God, it was so ridiculous. Like, this is some of the shit he would say.
Yeah.
It's like, it breaks that glass ceiling of like dedicated fan. To whereas even if you're like a casual watcher, you're like, who the fuck's on commentary? Like, who's talking? Because they sound like they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I told this story, I know, a couple of weeks ago, about how I mentioned that we had to watch this and how, you know, the Art Donovan thing, and one of my buddies on his phone brought up the network, and I was like, watch, he's going to say how much this guy, and within 10 seconds of playing it, Art Donovan was like, how much is this guy weigh, Gorilla? And everybody started laughing. Even people that don't even know what the fuck we're talking
about. Exactly.
I am going to kind of defend Art a little bit.
Oh boy.
So sure, the commentary is bad. In no way is he an actual commentator,
right?
For wrestling, okay. Right. And the way that it comes across is that this guy thinks all of it is real.
Oh, it's totally kayfabe.
Yeah. So
totally.
In some way here, it's kind of adorable. Because like when people are hitting like a back suplex, he's like, ooh,
he's popping, dude. They're punching. Yeah. He's popping on every punch.
Yeah, like he is legitimately thinking these guys are beating the shit out of each other.
Yes.
So in some way, it's like your grandpa just believing it, and it's kind of adorable.
Right. I get that.
I wasn't sitting there like pissed off about it. I was laughing the entire time that he was doing it. And you can definitely tell that at some point they're told to tone it down a little bit.
Absolutely. But, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like by the end, Gorilla was ready to fucking strangle the guy.
For sure. For sure.
But again, when you're part of the show, I feel like that's a hard thing to defend. Like, okay, this guy's part of the show.
Yeah.
How is he so out of the loop? You know what I mean? It just it takes away from the action just a little bit too much for me at some points. So I get what you're saying, and it does add to the credibility, because if this guy's sitting literally 4 feet from the ring and not seeing that it's choreographed and buying every single thing that happens, that's not a bad thing for your listeners and viewers to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? That this guy that knows nothing isn't seeing right through this shit like smoke and mirrors. So I think you have a fair point. But at the same time, if you're part of the show, you got to kind of be part of the show, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's so interesting that a guest commentator is so like revered and known. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, when I think of a guest commentator, you think of guys like wrestlers, you know?
Sure.
But Art Donovan being one of the most infamous, it's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. I don't understand the whole, it'd be good for the live crowd. Like,
no, that's a horrible excuse. Horrible.
I just want to point out too. So I mentioned earlier how like Art Donovan lived longer than Savage and Monsoon, and I'm not just referencing like age. Art Donovan lived until he was 89 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Gorilla Monsoon passed away in October of 1999, and obviously Randy Savage passed away in May of 2011.
Yeah.
Art Donovan lived until August 4th, 2013.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he lived a long time.
And I felt like he was older than Savage and Gorilla at that time.
Yeah, well, he lived till he was 89. So Monsoon died when he was like 60. Let me see. Hang on, 1924. He's obviously older than Savage at any point.
Well, yeah.
Monsoon would have been, he's older than Monsoon by about 13 years. Monsoon was born in 1937.
Holy shit.
So Art Donovan's commentary probably led to Randy Savage's heart failure and to Monsoon's, I can't remember what Monsoon died from, but he probably helped complications with diabetes. So Monsoon probably didn't have diabetes prior to King of the Ring 94. I would imagine shortly after the pay-per-view, Monsoon was diagnosed with diabetes, leading to his unfortunate passing.
Yeah, I think it was all those sugary, sweet little tidbits of information that Art was dropping that just really led to that.
I would have to think so.
Yeah. So it's just, again, it blows my mind that this episode, I talked more about what happened at the commentators table than I did the action in the ring. That'll probably never happen again. So it's such a unique show for that reason and more. Again, there's hidden gems on here, things you don't think about, things that you forget. And I think that encompasses the year 1994 pretty well.
I also want to point out that Art Donovan was apparently pretty good at football. He's actually in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as well.
All right.
So he played 12 seasons, 5-time Pro Bowler from 53 to 57.
Oof.
He won 2 championships. It's listed as achievements. His achievements on Wikipedia. Co-hosted WWF's King of the Ring pay-per-view.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
If that couldn't be more further from the truth, I don't know, man.
Oh my lord, that is just so funny. You can obviously tell Art Donovan was a harmless gentleman. He's probably a great.
Absolutely. Did he have any business being on the commentary table? Probably not.
Absolutely not. But yeah, he came across like a likable guy. So
yeah.
But yeah, that wraps up the 1994 King of the Ring pay-per-view. We've got 2 other Raws that still have to be even published for you guys. So we'll be taking a couple weeks off here before we go back into recording. And then it's kind of the march to SummerSlam 94. We'll probably do a few Raws and then break it up with a live watch. We got to get back into WCW. We got to get to Super Bowl 94, kind of get caught up in that regard.
Yeah.
Kind of falling behind there. But we'll get into it. WrestleFest 94 will actually probably be released this Thursday. So the Monday that this came out, because the day you're listening to is maybe Monday. In a couple of days, WrestleFest 94 will be released. That's another one that a lot of people have been wanting to hear about. So we'll finally get that published for you guys as well. And then hopefully we can figure out Skype. I'll probably get with Rory from Wrestling 20 years ago. I also want to point out that I'm not doing Bash at the Beach 99 anymore. I'm Heatwave 99. So for July of 99 at Wrestling 20 years ago, I will be chit-chatting about Heatwave 99. Substantially better show.
Yes.
Than Bash at the Beach.
Yes.
So thank God for that.
Yes. Really quick before we sign off here, I know we've had a Facebook comment or 2 about it recently. You can buy ICOPOD shirts at this point. Bob indeed has one. He owns one. It's real. And the quality is actually pretty damn good from Redbubble. So I'm impressed with what they were able to pump out over there. So please, we have it linked on our Facebook page. If you're looking for some ICOPOD stuff, head over there. I am going to try and see what we can do about maybe jumping on the old Pro Wrestling Tees bandwagon. That's if Hogan 98 money will bring his price down to maybe Hogan 76 money, where Hogan wasn't wrestling, to give his friends a little bit of a discount on the designing price to get some cool shirts up there that I think you guys would really enjoy. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe we might be making the jump. We might be pulling a Hogan, throwing a Pro Wrestling Tees parade, signing on the dotted line. So we'll see what happens with that. But for right now, Redbubble is your place. There's stickers, shirts, drawstring bags, whatever your heart desires over there.
Yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and I hope that you in the past have enjoyed it. We're not through yet, brother. We're still marching on forward. Hopefully giving you guys a couple of hours of entertainment every Monday and sometimes Thursday.
We are halfway through 1994.
Yeah, we are.
It's insane.
Who would have thought that? We were just saying like episode 79. I don't think we ever would have thought we'd be this far.
Insane.
Once we get to 100, we can probably pitch this to networks. We could be in syndication, just like the sitcoms.
That's right, baby.
So
baby steps at a time. Baby steps at a time.
Can't hold us down. But for Austin Skinner, I'm Bob Collins Jr., and this has been another terrifically awesome, splendid, hey, who's that guy episode of King of the Ring, which was actually ICOPOD. I just butchered that, but that's okay. This is ICOPOD. Thanks for listening.
How much does this guy weigh?